And we're live for this week's session of Ioditihis. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ioditihis. My name's Josh. I'm the humble patron and dungeon master of the Quiet Kenku. Now, before we begin, I do want to go through a couple announcements, get those out of the way, and then we'll go into a recap because I know it's been a hot minute. So, a couple quick announcements. As always, first and foremost, we have resident artist here playing Lucia, that being Connor. Connor, give a wave. Yeah. And so, yeah, they do a lot of amazing artwork, including the artwork that you saw me post tonight on the socials. That was Idara, the goddess of the underworld, where we find our players tonight. Um, but also, just another thank you to the sponsor for tonight. Now, I was racking my brain for the past month trying to think of like, what do I say? What do I say to thank +5 Charisma for sponsoring the channel? What do I say? And I couldn't think of anything, so I was unoriginal and I went to an AI text generator and I put in some random words. Let's see what it spat out. Let's just hit generate a few times. Okay, it could be worse. Oh, hold on, it's getting worse. All right. Hold on. It's generating. Okay, I'm just gonna read verbatim. Come join the +5 Charisma Discord server. It's a place for TTRPG people to come together and share their projects, games, adventures, projects, storylines, videos, character concepts, art, and more. Yes, it was doubled in there. And that is all actually true. It does have a place for all of those things. +5 is a friendly community that offers tons of content for both our fans and creative fans. Don't know what the difference there is, to enjoy. Everyone's welcome regardless of race, gender, religion, or any other social category. That's wholesome. For more information on +5 Charisma, check out the Discord. Links in my link tree. It is, I don't know how it knew, on all my socials linked below. And then it goes into something about Michael Knox. that So I don't know who that is. I think that's just a random name it pulled. But there we go. Um, so yeah, no, that is all true though. It's funny, it pulled all that from somewhere. But yeah, so go check it out. It is in fact in my link tree. You can find that on my socials, which are linked below. And then last thing is just me. I stream. That's all I got for me. So yeah. But onto the actual thing I'm here for. So tonight's story follows our band of adventurers, these 5 individuals that found their way together through their travels. They had gone and taken a mission. They'd crashed on the Pinmont Quay, but found their way off by striking up a couple deals. Originally with Captain of the Guard, and then with a gang leader, which they then murdered the guard, took the ship, and fled to deliver their cargo and finish their mission, which it all worked out in the end. Upon getting to their destination, Dumsivak, they had relaxed for a bit in a tavern, had a drinking contest before a creature that no one would have seen, a creature like this before, in Illithid, as it turned out. Something that was new to Iodithis as a planet as a whole, had murdered a woman in the street. It fled, and the next morning the party had joined in a mission with the guard of that town, including our guest Brant playing Warden, Warden Colston, a detective, and they all set off to find this Illithid threat and possibly put a stop to it. They found one, took it down, and had followed some other trails as one of the other mercenaries that had joined in this little hunt, a large warforged, with tons of guns and weapons and swords, had been ripped apart. And from the sky, a large sleigh being pulled by intellect devourers came out of the sky and announced himself as Santa Clans, shooting Edna point blank in the face with a shotgun after she slammed her head through the front of the carriage. And that, I mean, Edna took it. Edna took it like a champ. I'll give you credit where credit's due. You were a big bear, took that like a champ. Um, oh yes, and yeah. So after that, you had convinced him, to stop fighting, and he had told you of his boss, that his boss was, he was kind of an outcast, Sanderglance. He was kind of an outcast. And his boss was a little less than happy with things and wanted to take things over, take over worlds, and Ioditihis was the next place. And so you had set off toward their ship with Sanderglance in tow. But upon arriving, there had been a loud boom as something rushed through the sky. And above you was a large Illithid, who said some mean things, pointed his wand down at you, a wand that he held in his hand, like he was about to cast something, starting to mutter arcane words. But before he could, another man appeared, in gold and white armor, with a large lance with a blue ribbon. Some that most of you, those of you that had a life in the main world for at some point, would have recognized as Anir, the god of light, and anyone who had a religious background would immediately recognize him as well. And that is Anir, the god of light, the de facto king of the gods. And as they flew together and crashed, there was a bright flash and a rush of heat, and you all died at the sight of what was effectively a nuclear bomb. The power of a nuclear bomb going off. You had all died. And waking up, you woke up on the stone floor. A woman standing up on almost like a cliffside around you. She said simply, "Let the games begin." And that is where we'll pick up. Bit of a recap, but again, I want to give a little more detail because it has been a month, so I want to give a little bit more of a recap, get everyone up to speed. So, that is where we will start. With that said, you are in a land, seeing her, looking around and knowing kind of what just happened, getting an idea. This is a place known as Kraktau, the domain of the dead. Now, something that would be knowledge for all of your characters, something you would know about how death works in this world. When a mortal dies, their soul is taken from their body and travels to an extra-dimensional space known as Kraktau. In this space, that mortal is given a choice on what happens to their soul. And we'll get to that. But you would know kind of that gist, that there is a chance for a second life. But it is slim. She's going to stand up there, a wine glass in her hand, and kind of just swirls it around. "Hello, mortals. It is time for you to make your choice." And she almost kind of in her voice seems tired. Like it's a rehearsed thing. She said this a lot. She's kind of just tired. "Behind you, you will see a gate. If you go through that gate, you can participate in a grand competition where your soul is wagered. There are 10 winners, 10 individuals who can go back to the mortal plane. And as you look around you, all of you, there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. There are 10 that can make it back. You can go that way and go on a competition to get your soul and continue on back on your lives. Or, and she'll point to the other side of you, there are 2 gates. One leads up to a staircase where you can ascend and become a servant of the gods for eternity, working in their divine realms. Your skills will be judged, and you will be put in your right place. It is great honor. And the third choice." And she points this direction, this third way, and it's just void. Almost looks like there's bits of stars, but just void, other than that. "You can walk this way and have your soul scattered amongst the endless, ageless expanse. That is your third choice. You have time to decide, but choose your path." And I will say, you do see a good number of people go toward the staircase. Those people being slightly older people, Those that look slightly weaker. One of them looks just like a teenage girl almost, and she walks that way to ascend into essentially this world version of heaven. You see some go into the void. They look toward the staircase, shake their head, and walk into the void. The people that seem to go toward the back way, the tournament, it almost looks like an arena. Those in armor, weapons, adventuring type. But there are some people as well. You see a woman grabs up a sword off the ground, and she looks like, again, a young girl. Just picks up a sword off the ground, shaky hands, and makes her way toward the arena. At least to take the chance. And the question is, and you can talk amongst yourselves, which way do you go?
Make sure they're not freaking out to start with.
Okay.
But overly be there to sort of grandmother them.
He's very surprisingly calm. Has a distant look on his face as he takes in the surroundings.
What about the rest of you? We'll start here. Let's say Isaac. Isaac, in this area you're in, you see kind of the other people in your group and the two that have spoken so far. How is Isaac in this moment?
He's like halfway zoned out.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, he's still trying to process things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there was a flash of light. We're now down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a lot to process. Understandable. What about Edna? How is Edna taking this? I saw you unmute. If you are saying anything, can't hear you. You may.
I'm not saying anything yet. I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. I don't know, to be honest.
Fair enough. What about Vakhtang?
I feel like Vakhtang, he's not quite what I'd like to say unfazed, but he's definitely not like shocked either. He keeps looking towards the staircase with a bit of a dropping feeling in his chest.
Mm-hmm.
He looked towards the void, feels all too familiar and then he looks towards the arena. And I think that's what really starts to grab his attention a bit.
Mm-hmm. I will say probably only a quarter of the people here go toward the arena. Still over 1,000 people. Over 2,000. But a much less number. And you see the area around you start to go thinner and thinner. And I'm going to say, after a couple moments, just kind of standing, getting your bearings, because honestly, you were thrust into this, and then people started moving. And everyone else has this sort of dazed look. It's almost like everyone else is running on autopilot, almost. Still in this dazed state of mind, but they hear three choices, and some of them you can tell just picked one. But after a moment, there is someone who comes up to you. And he is, looks to be an older man. Possibly in his late 50s, early 60s, maybe. Appears human. And he kind of taps, we'll say Elia, taps Elia on the shoulder. Excuse me. Well, I have a question. They said 10 could make it through. Are you a group?
We did all come here together, so I suppose you could call it as a group.
All right. My name is. Call me Jacob. I came here alone, and I was wondering if I could at least accompany you for now. I'd very much like to get out of this place, and if you're going toward the arena, I have a family to get back to. If I could at least accompany you, possibly. I wouldn't be a burden. I can carry a blade.
Elia will give a half bow, and sort of say, "I don't see any problem with it. I'm Elia. You can call me Elias at them."
Elias. Okay. Good to meet you. And I'll say the only other thing of note of him, streak of white down the one side of his hair, rest is black, and a long sort of trench coat, reds and blacks, red trim, I'll just say black trench coat. And you do see, as he said, he does carry a blade, and it kind of shows. He does have a nasty looking blade on his hip. It's jagged in places, but it's rusted in places as well. Yes, if I could accompany you, that would be wonderful. I don't know what happened, frankly. There was a bright flash. I was in Kingsport, and next thing I know, I'm here.
Yeah, there was a similar bright flash for us. But as I says, I have no problem with you tagging along. I'm sure the others won't either. And then she'll sort of give a half turn to the rest of the party to see if anyone else has a problem with him tagging along.
I feel like my eyes are kind of locked onto his blade, his really rubbish blade.
Mm-hmm.
You're fighting with that?
Well, not just with this. I have other things as well, but if I need to.
I will by no means have a burden on our team. I take out one of my my short swords, and I flip around and hand it to him. See if he'll take it. It's I have not used it before.
He'll reach out and take it, and when his hand touches it, Vogton, could you make me a quick wisdom save?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oop. There we go. Ooh, that's not good. But oh, that's actually decent. I got a 11.
Check your private chat for a moment. I'm going to send you something.
Okay.
Oh no.
Hunger of Hadar gets cast inside Vogton's mind.
So there you go. You know that. It's just something in the back of your mind. That's all.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so he takes it. Thank you. And he kind of he pulls the other side of the coat aside, and he does have a second sort of scabbard forward almost, and he just puts it in it. Lost my other blade. So, yes, I suppose if you are going that way, to the arena, as you said, you have no problem with me accompanying you, but that is with the idea you're going that way. If not, I can go myself and find someone else, but it's up to you.
I believe it would be a smarter idea to go to the arena as a larger group to work together, to then have a larger chance of succeeding.
Can agree. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of groups. From what little I know of research, it's mostly individuals who get kicked in here that are too distrusting, bandits and the like, and they don't group up. You can pick them off usually. least that's what I've read.
Can I
You
use
read
my
about this
passive
place?
insight to like get a general read on him?
What is your passive insight?
16.
16. And Isaac, what did you say? You said something as well?
I did not say anything.
Oh, I thought I saw the green. That was
Was
all.
Edna.
Okay. Oh, was it Edna? I
Edna
saw
did say
green on the
something,
bottom.
yeah.
It was Edna.
Okay.
And I was asking this Jacob person why he do research on this place.
Oh,
Do you want to be here?
well, it's my job, honestly. I'm a researcher. It's what I do. I just happen to get caught up in something, I suppose, but it's research.
Researcher of what?
How to put this? Other planes. And this is, in fact, that. And I will give you, because we'll use this passive insight for this whole conversation that has happened, so I will give you an idea of that whole thing. But yes, other planes. That is my research. Now, as for what you get, Elia, because I did roll a roll for this, because you would have to, against your insight. 16. From what you get off of him, I will say that when he gave you his name, it was not truthful. That was... And he almost paused when he gave you his name. He was kind of like, Jacob. But that could be for a lot of reasons. He studies other planes, as he said. That much you know to be true. He does, in fact, study other planes. The part about... I mean, that's really it. Those are really the two big things, I think. Is there anything in particular you were looking for?
Just sort of like, just a general vibe of him, really.
He seems nervous. He seems nervous, but that's understandable. Being down here, there's a lot of nervous people. And so that kind of, even when he approached you, his hands were kind of clasped together and he kind of was hunched over a bit. He does seem to stand a bit straighter now, having a group around him and better weapon in his hand. But general vibe, he just seems nervous overall. But his name is, you would know, not Jacob.
Well, Elias going to keep a close eye on him then.
Okay, good to know. And so,
I do have a question.
ask away.
I do as well.
So you and I had discussed some stuff outside of session and stuff.
Yes, the question you had.
Not just that. There's
Okay.
another thing that I'm a little curious of.
Okay.
Because we had discussed specifically what happens to those who die from old age or sickness.
Yes. Yes.
Is that common knowledge?
I'm going to say that is common knowledge. That is a detail I neglected to mention, so I will. Krakatoa is more of a purgatory, less of a hell. It is where people go if they die of old age, if they die of sickness, if they were supposed to die, according to fate, the god of fate. They do not get the second chance here. They are sent off. They are in the void. Or the staircase to heaven, basically. If you are not supposed to die, if something causes you to die out of turn, then you get the arena. That choice is present. So that is common knowledge. That is something I did neglect to mention. I'm glad you brought that up. And to answer your other question you had asked me out of game, you look down, Lucia, your augments and things are still there. All of that is still present. You are exactly as you were, and this goes for all of you, exactly as you were when you came, when you died. Now, Vakhtyn, you had a question as well.
So I will be talking to so-called Jacob.
Do it.
Pardon if this comes across a bit strange, but you said you studied other planes, correct?
Correct, yes.
You wouldn't have come here for any reason now, would you have, or was it simply just a mistake?
It was a mistake. Bright flash and I was here, and seems like what happened to you as well. I wasn't researching at the moment I was here. I was actually out with my daughter, but I don't see her here.
Well, that's good news, at least.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Could Elia very quickly test something?
Yeah, go ahead.
The necklace.
Necklace here. The one
Yeah,
that you were wearing.
from the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
Since technically she's no longer alive on the mortal plane,
Uh-huh.
she wants to see if that will affect her ability to take it off.
So you go ahead and you try. As you go to unclasp it or lift it off, go to take it off. It does come off. It's as if it was almost tied to your soul the moment you put it on. And now that technically your soul is not there, it comes off. And so yes, it does come off.
So in that case, she would like to tie it onto her quarterstaff like a charm,
Oh, okay. And you do so. And it's just hanging there. Ding.
and then she'll put it back on when she goes back to the mortal plane because she's stupid.
Okay. Ah, yes, the evil-looking necklace that does nothing except look pretty, and you can't take it off. Yeah, okay, cool. So yes, he's gonna kind of just look at the lot of you. Well, I do know a bit, about this place because, of course, people have come back from it. There are winners. If you're ready to go, I'm ready as well. You kind of.
Yeah, Elia will nod and get her quarterstaff ready to just sort of use it to walk along with.
Okay. And so he'll start walking. The rest of you, do you as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Lucia doesn't move.
Lucia doesn't move.
Elia will turn back to look at Lucia and sort of offer her hand out.
No offense to the rest of you, but what's the point in returning? At least for me. I'll just end up dying again anyways.
Elia will sort of keep her hand held out, still offering it to Lucia and say, "Are you satisfied with the life that you led?"
Yes, and if I'm never really satisfied.
And to answer your question, in terms of what's the point in going back if we're just going to die again? What's the point in getting up in the morning if you're just going to go to sleep again?
I understand the sentiment. I have another question, Josh.
Yeah.
Here,
Mm-hmm.
specifically.
Purgatory, yep.
Does he still have that problem? Does he still feel it?
You do. Because you came as you are. Not as you would be.
I'll stand. Take her hand. All right.
Okay. So you go?
Yeah.
Is there anyone who does object to going? Or would like to stay in this space longer? I do not hear any objections, so then we will continue. So, as you begin to walk, this arena, it looks almost like a large circus tent. The one that would sit in the center, and you see people going through and pulling back the curtain and walking in. And as you all go, and Jacob would have been in the lead, having gone first, would get there first and walks through. There's light on the inside. I think Alaya and Lucia, because Alaya, you said you were keeping an eye on him. I think it makes sense you'd be a little closer behind. And so you go. And then the other, and then the next of you. And once the last person gets through, what you see is this large. At first you think it's a wall. But it's a large step of a flight of stairs. And if you've seen some monuments, they'll have the stairs. It'll like be a few stairs and then a landing, a few stairs and then a landing. It's many of those in quick succession, going all the way up toward a large spire, set of spires that stretch into the sky above where the clouds would be. But where you are is already above those. And as you look around, you see a large city that looks close, but is yet so far away, as it is just so gigantic in scale. And she, Idara, goddess of the underworld, is standing a few steps up, these steps being almost as tall as you are each. This first challenge takes place in Durrus, the land of the ancients. After their departure from Durrus, it became the home of the giants, and as you can see, it is much larger than you. Your first challenge will take place here. And as she kind of spreads her arms and kind of shows around, again, it is just this, it almost looks more like a modern city with skyscrapers and large things. And it's pristine. It's marble and gold and silver. It's beautiful. And the smells, the scents in the air, it smells like lavender and honey, and it's very pleasant. But behind her, on this step, flanking these steps, are 6 statues. And you might want to write this down, somebody, because I will tell you this will have to do with a puzzle. I'll tell you that. There's 6 statues. And they are of the 6 types of giants. There is the cloud giant, the stone giant, the frost giant, the fire giant, the hill giant, and the storm giant. Again, the 6 types of giants. The cloud giant wearing almost like a toga with gold drapes and a spear in its one hand. Stone giant, club and a boulder in the one arm, wearing just ragtag furs. Frost giant with a large engraved axe, and furs as well. A large skull on the one shoulder looks to be a dragon skull. Fire giant, the only one in actual armor, wearing what almost looks like a set of dwarven plate, but of course much larger, and a flaming sword in the center. Hill giant, almost holding what looks like a bale of hay, of grain, wearing just simple, almost looks like a kilt. And a storm giant with a shield and sword. Almost looks like it's made of lightning, if it were not stone. And as these 6 statues are there, she waves her arms to them, and 6 orbs of light, one above each statue, hover. And as she waves her arms, they all begin to move in opposite directions into this large city. Your task, as a group or individual, is to bring back one of these orbs to their respective statue. Each one has an inscription with a riddle that will tell you which statue it goes to. You are to retrieve it from the city and bring it back here. You have as much time as you need. However, only the people who bring back an orb get to continue. There are thousands of you here, and in the end there will be at most 60 of you, if you are all groups of 10. Less if there are individuals or groups that are smaller. Behind you, and she's going to wave her hand, and behind you torches will illuminate, and you see what almost looks like a small market, full of almost what look like constructs behind the counters, made of stone and lightning and fire, almost look like elementals. You can shop for equipment here. You have time to get ready, and when everyone is ready, we will begin the challenge. And again, only those who bring back an orb may continue. Good luck. And she's going to
When she says,
go ahead.
when she says those that bring back an orb, does she mean those that bring back an orb individually, or those that bring back an orb and their group?
Either, because again, at most, at the end of this challenge, there will be 60 people, because groups can be no more than 10 people. A group can be, there can be groups, but again, no more than 10 people. So, if you guys stay with your group, which now have 6, including Jacob, one of you brings back an orb, your group is safe. And you all continue on to the next round. However, there are thousands of people here. It's a race to see who brings one back first. It is a scavenger hunt in the city of dead gods and giants. And she does kind of wave her hand before she evaporates. And as she evaporates, this visage of the city crumbles. And you see buildings start to crumble into dust. And suddenly before you, it's almost like a filter coming off of an image. The buildings are wrapped in weird, almost what look like pustules and veins. And the buildings are crumbling. The gold and the paint off the statues eroded. And if everyone here could make me a quick history check, put it in dice rolls. Because this will just determine if you can kind of guess what's coming. We'll see. Ooh. Someone might know. Someone knows. Okay, hold on. Let's wait for everyone else. I'm impressed. Okay.
Oh,
Oh. And wait, no.
I don't remember how to do this. Help.
What are you trying to do?
Roll a dice on the bot.
Oh, were you not? I mean, you can use your die if you have them.
I don't want to use it right now.
Okay, it's because I mean you can use dice main. It's exclamation point R space 1d20 plus
space
your
D20.
yeah plus your mod.
Yeah.
They go.
What did I do?
Oh, you didn't add
I
your
did
mod.
something
What's
wrong.
your modifier?
I did the wrong thing by accident. Hold on. I accidentally put minus instead of plus.
Well, it rolled an 8, so
Apologies.
it's just a total 8. Like there's no minus, right? Because 1d20 just
No,
says 8.
No. I put a minus 4 on that by accident.
Fair enough. I'll let you re-roll it.
I meant to plus, but I'm really bad at this shit.
Yeah. That
Do
that
that
is
command and then add your modifier.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, that's about what it would have been, so that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna say probably only Edna, Isaac, and Elia actually get this. The DC for it was a little higher. It was 15. So what you know, and seeing this visage, there were paintings, there were children's stories about this. Again, the ancients were the ones who preceded the gods. The souls of the ancients, when they died, essentially, their essence was given to mortals to empower them to create the first gods. And then since then, that essence has been passed on, and more has been found, more gods have been created. But their souls of the ancients are what created them. Their bodies created the giants. The bodies of the dead ancients are what spawned the giants. And this place you are right now, known as Durus, Durus, is in the Feywild. And those pustules that you see ring true to one of the more horrifying children's stories. The one that's told to scare children. They were these insectoid creatures that would burrow in the noses, in the ears, in the mouths of giants, just burrowing in and then into their brains. Kill them and then resurrect them, turning these giants into almost zombies. They've been spotted nowhere else but Durus. And they have never been cleared out. And this is where you will fight. Where you will fight to survive. Again, there is the market. If there's anything you wish to buy, you can do so now. If there's anything you need, any small things with the coin you have that you think might be beneficial, healing, anything of the sort, now would be the time to get it. So is there anything
How
anyone
much
needs?
are healing potions?
Do you go ask? Because you might be able to get a discount if you barter. So,
Okay.
You see someone who's got a variety of potions, different colors, swirling around. It looks like some healing, labeled very clearly. One that says stamina, although it doesn't seem like it's about anything you're going to need here. It's got a picture of a bed on it, so who knows? And so, so just a lot of different potions, different colors, and again, there's this elemental kind of standing there. It's like rocky arms crossed, just. Can I help you?
She walks forward, gives a bow, and then asks, "Do you have any healing potions available?"
I do.
May I ask how much you are selling them for?
What are you looking for? Standard?
What's the cheapest, and then what's the most expensive?
Oh, okay, the cheapest. Cheapest is gonna run you about 50 gold. You can barter as well if you don't have gold. Give items instead of gold. If you don't have any.
She sort of looks down at herself, wearing minimal, like just generic clothes, having a quarterstaff, a couple of throwing knives, and that being pretty much the extent of her material wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And then just reaching for her coin purse and opening it up. And then she sort of says, "I think gold will do fine."
Wonderful. Yeah, 50 apiece for the normal ones. And those are the, for your knowledge, those are the 2d4 plus 2 ones. Standard.
And your most expensive?
Those are somewhere around. Hold on. The person in my head has totally forgotten the amount of those. And I don't think I can find it, so I'm just gonna make some shit up. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be about 5,000. That's actually, I think, cheaper than they're supposed to be. I think the like most expensive, they're fucking expensive.
What's the next cheapest that you have? So just
That one
above
I
the
do know.
standard.
That one I do know over my head. Those are 500. Yeah, no, that is actually what they are. Yeah, that I
Jesus
do know.
Christ.
Yeah, healing potions
Okay.
get fucking nuts.
Crazy.
If I could find my fucking document, I actually have a document I wrote for like cheaper versions of these. But I don't
While
know.
you're looking for that, could I do a thing real quick?
Yeah, do the thing while I'm looking for prices.
Lucia is gonna approach Stockton.
Do
Oh.
roleplay shit out.
They cut me off guard. Okay.
You do things with magic, right?
Yes, I do dabble in the arts.
Do you mind if I borrow something off of you? A coat or armor of any sort that you might wear?
What exactly are you looking for?
Just whatever you casually wear. I don't really care what it is.
So you're looking for just armor or something?
Basically.
Okay. Sorry, awesome. Let me see what I got.
While you're looking, I will say, Alaya, the next up I'm going to say are 300 instead of 5. He's actually going to give 300 instead.
Okay.
And those are
Okay.
the greater.
She's going to ask if she can buy 5 of the cheapest healing potions, but for a discount, considering she's buying 5 of them.
How much are you wanting to pay? What is your offer? Because 5 of the cheapest, the 50 gold ones, would be, 250
250.
normally. So what are you asking?
Half, if not a third of the price.
Half would be 125, a third. Math on that's too complicated for me right now. Hold on.
Same.
Okay, so I have an idea. So you're not wearing any armor right now, are you?
Lucia?
Lina is not.
No, let me find the name is Lucia.
Lucia, yeah.
Lucia. No armor, right?
Good question. I think he's wearing something.
Oh, that's a little interesting then.
I'd be concerned if he wasn't.
I'm pretty sure he's got just straight, like, leather currently.
Leather, studded leather, yeah, probably.
Something like that.
Okay. I do have that wand from earlier. I kind of pulled that out. Does that seem to interest you at all?
What is it?
So when we were fighting the whatever it was, the mind flare, he had a wand on him and I pickpocketed it.
Lucia just kind of looks at it. I didn't ask for that.
Ugh, I kind of sigh and I take off the only armor I have, which is on me,
He takes it,
and I give it to you.
walks off, takes a seat,
Interesting.
and he's going to infuse Mind Sharpener.
Ooh. I thought you were gonna barter my stuff off.
Listen, he's not telling you what the fuck he's doing with it, but it is a thing he's doing.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. Forgot that did that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I will DM you what it does.
So, I will say make me a persuasion check, Alaya. I did the math on it. You're asking either a third, which is about 8, I'm going to round it to just 80 gold, or half, which is...
half or 2/3, sorry.
2/3. So,
if
2/3...
you can't get half, then
okay.
it'd be about 160.
Well, 165 actually is the math on that. 165 for 2/3, or 125 for half. Give me a persuasion check, and we will see, depending on your roll, maybe. 12. Gonna kind of just look at you. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Listen,
Not
this might
even
be
for
the
the
end of the road, but
2/3?
no. Still knocking off too much. Best I can do is 200.
That works. That works.
I'll give you one for free.
Okay. Thank you.
And he'll hand them over, and so that'll be 200 gold off for you, but you have 5. And again, these are the common. These are the standard 2d4 plus 2 healing potions. Yes. Anyone else have anything they would like to do to prep? Kind of like Lucius doing the infusion, or buying of anything. They do have some small magic items.
Isaac, like to walk up to the stand.
You do sound like a robot, Isaac, I will say.
Oh, that is terrifying. You gotta teach me how you do that with your voice.
It sounds kind of cool, honestly. It's like a voice modifier. It's awesome. Except not intentional.
Lou, stop.
There are some magic items around. I'd love to see them.
Yeah, I mean, you can go take a look. You walk over to the stall.
Apparently, I need new headphones.
Oh no, is it the headphones?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, but what I was trying to say was I would like to go up to the stand.
Which one? The one for magic items, potions? What are you looking for? Because if you and Edna are going to the same place, I can do that at once.
I actually wanted to do it while Elia was bargaining.
Oh,
but
but your headphones were cutting out. You know what?
yeah.
Let me, Aaron, if it's okay, I want to do that real quick before we get off
That's
Elia.
fine.
And then we'll do that real quick, because that'll be separate while I'm on this page. So, I'll allow a little bit of that, because it was a technical issue. Yeah, so what do you do when you go up there?
So I wanted to kind of pull Elia to the side and just say, so I've got some things that I want to get rid of before you go spending all your gold. So how about we try to use some of the stuff I have so you save some of your money and we still get some potions.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
So rewind time, yeah. so rewind your money, and let's do this. So you go up and he kind of looks at you. What do you got?
So Isaac's gonna pull out the musket that he got from Santa.
Oh yeah, the fucking shotgun, yeah, the pump action shotgun, yeah. Okay. So yeah, he pull that shit out and he looks at it. Looking to barter.
I am.
Can I see it?
Sure.
He kind of takes
hand
it in
it to
his
him.
he kind of takes it in his hand and he turns it over, checks it, still loaded. Just kind of couple rounds plus the gun. What are you looking to get for it?
3 common potions or something better.
3 common potions, huh? Here's what I'll say. Something of this workmanship. We've got a couple rounds in it. I could do either 2 common potions or 1 graded.
I'm gonna turn to Elia.
I would be more than happy to still spend my gold to get the 5 common potions, and then you could get the greater potion.
Alright. So I'll take the greater potion then.
Okay, he'll pass it over to you, and then he'll pass over the 5 common. And so the greater is the 4d4 plus 4. And so you'll get that, and then you get your 5 of that. Now, over to Aaron, Edna. So you want to go check out the magic items. So
Yes.
going up here, this is one of the only ones manned by a person. It is a dwarvish man, got a long black beard, little almost hat, little I forget what you fucking call him, whatever Ava's wearing. I can't think of the name, just a cap.
Little flat cap.
Black cap, yeah. Wearing one of those and gets hair pulled up real tight. He's kind of like, what can I do for you? Looking to
You
buy
got
something.
here. That'll what's the word I'm looking for here? Let me crush things better.
You
I
want
can't
some?
think of the better word.
You want something that'll let you crush something better? You're looking like a hammer, or
I do like hammers.
you do like hammers? I can tell. You look like someone who likes hammers.
I
Oh, let's see what we can do for you. And he pulls out a couple things. So he's going to pull out one. It just looks like a very finely crafted hammer. It's a +1. For your knowledge, it's a +1. The only other thing he pulls out, hammer-wise, there is a... Let me get it up here real quick so I can actually look at the stats so I can kind of tell you what it does. Let's see. Nope, if I could spell, that'd be great. Okay, he pulls out a hammer that almost has what looks like an eye in the center. It's chiseled in there. It's not like an actual eye, but it is a weapon of warning. So this, while it is on your person, it warns you of danger. You have advantage on initiative rolls. You and any of your companions within 30 feet can't be surprised except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep. So that's what that would do. So it's either a +1 or something like that. He does tell you there's a price difference. The weapon of warning is actually, he puts it up for, I'd say that's about 450 gold pieces. The +1 I could probably give you for 3.
so 450 and 300.
450 for the weapon of warning,
Yeah.
and 300 for the +1.
Can I have both?
If you got the coin for it,
Oh, I've got the coin for it.
then there you go. And he'll push them across, and they are both warhammers. So they are able to be one-handed.
Hell yeah.
Or two-handed. So there you go. You have both of those, and again, you, even if you're not wielding that weapon of warning, you still gain its effects while it is on your person. So there you go. Make sure you can write that down. I will send you a link to the weapon of warning, because that is something I hadn't heard about. Oh, also, there is one other thing the weapon of warning does. It just wasn't where I could see it at the time. It magically awakens you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins.
Oh, nice.
That is literally an uncommon magic item from the DM guide. I've never heard of it before, but it's cool, and I saw it and I was like, yeah. So I will send it in at chat.
While
So,
I'm here, could I ask for potentially any non-armor like defenses?
You said non-armor defenses.
Yes, I don't want to wear anything covering my body, but maybe something else.
So, like some bracers or like a ring or something?
Bracers could help.
Yeah, we might have something like that. And he's going to kind of look through his book he's got in front of him, and look through the shelving. And I think he's going to give you... I think this is what I think it is here. Covering my keyboard. Okay, what is the price of that? Alright, I got a ring for something like that, but it's a bit on the pricey side. If I could fucking find the page. Okay, it's the Ring of Protection. It would give you a +1 to AC and a +1 to all saving throws. However, I'd have to sell it to you for about 2,500 gold.
Well, I don't have quite that much, so
All
we'll
right.
leave it there.
Yeah, anything like that gets kind of pricey.
I figured. Just had to ask.
Of course, I don't blame you.
Question for Edna: Do you have the do you already have the barbarian unarmored thing?
Yes. However, my dexterity and con are hilariously low for a barbarian, so it's not doing me much favors.
What is your con?
13.
Okay, I might be able to do something for you then.
Oh,
Okay.
So I think what I noticed is going on. I'm kind of just observing everything that's going on.
okay.
So I assume, unless there's any objections, I would notice this, and I would kind of walk over to Edna, and I did have this up. Mage armor. Would that do any good for you?
Ooh.
Because it would make your AC 13 plus dexterity instead of. It should up it by like 1 or 2.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if
as
you have
long
a
as someone's casting it.
last 8 hours too, goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be pretty good.
Yeah.
I would agree. It'd give me. Well, no. It put me at 14.
What are you at right now?
15.
Ooh.
Oh, so it actually do negative for you?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will not use it.
Cool. Thanks
But
for.
I do want to know:
Okay.
do I see any kind of like almost like woodworking shops or anything that's dealing with any kind of wood stuff?
There is. There seems to be someone. They are mostly dealing in like staves and even a couple wands, like very basic wands.
Okay. When it's my turn, I'd like to kind of just waltz up there.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron, is there anything else Edna might be looking for? Sadly, all the things that would increase AC, most of the things that aren't armor are a bit in that price range.
Edna wanted a hammer. She got 2. She's
You
okay
got to.
now.
Hey, nice. All right. Then Vokton, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. So you want to go over there?
So I'd kind of like to kind of almost like sit down and just observe the man doing it until I draw some attention towards him.
They don't have a lot of customers at the moment, so basically, once you sit there, kind of looks over the counter at you. And this is another one of the elementals, or this one with a much more humanoid shape, kind of peeks over. What can I do for you?
What would it take for you to teach me a bit about these woodworking whereabouts?
About woodworking, teaching. Truthfully, not really my specialty. It would take quite some time. If you're wanting to get proficient with it, especially, I could teach you very basic things, but as far as any kind of getting proficient, we'd need weeks of training. And I don't think any of you have that long.
I'd like to just observe for a little bit. Maybe throw a couple
Okay.
coins his way.
Okay,
Just-
you throw a couple
just-
coins his way. How much you throwing? Like a couple gold?
Oh yeah, I'll throw 4 gold.
Okay. You just 4 gold up there. He kind of looks at it. He takes it and puts it down, and then he nice. He is going to just kind of sit there and just whittle. He seems to be at this point working on almost turning a staff into more of a spear, just wooden spear, and just doing some whittling of it. Roll me a, I'm gonna say just in a flat intelligence check.
Okay. Because I also want to be doing this along with him because I have a couple. I believe it's some planks of wood. Let me see.
Okay.
I got a 6, just a 6 plus your plus what?
Intelligence.
Oh, 12.
12. You're doing along with him, and this is a very basic thing, just kind of sharpening a spear. You do kind of at one point as you're getting the tip, it kind of snaps off, and so you got to kind of start over. It's a little shorter now, but you're able to do it with fair decency. It would make a good either something to stab with, or you could even be used as a javelin if you really wanted to.
Interesting.
So yeah, you
So
essentially have a javelin.
Okay, cool. That's a good way to start it out. Now, I don't feel like I'm proficient enough to do this, so I'm going to ask him something that I'm going to message you.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and send.
To find you. Where did you go in my DMs? I'll just send it to you in the
Private chat, yeah.
yeah. How do I lost all sense of servers. Okay.
Oh no.
I don't know if this would even be possible, but
I can take a look, and it might be possible to some degree. Let's see. And so you kind of
See,
ask him if that's something he can do?
Yes.
He's going to kind of look at it. I suppose it's not improbable, but it wouldn't make the whole item function in that way. It would be more so somebody could attempt to grab it, to pull, and it would just rip off.
Interesting.
The item itself would stay, as is its purpose, but not the whole thing we would have put together.
And how much would this cost me?
To just attach it, honestly, probably 20 gold. Just for the materials to get it implanted in there, the woodworking. That'd be about it, but again, it wouldn't function as I think you're hoping.
Sure. I feel like I have some ideas, so I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Worst case, just doesn't work out, and then I just keep it. But best case, I found a good idea for it.
Okay. Well then, hey, 20 gold on there. You pay him that, and he will do so. He will attach the two.
Some.
All right. Is there anything else anyone would like to do for prep?
The question: did he provide the second part of it, or did I?
Oh, you did cut out a bit. What was that?
Did he provide the second part of it, or did I provide the second part of it?
Second part being, can I just say it?
Yeah, go for it.
Quarterstaff or the other thing?
Yeah. Quarterstaff.
If you have one, because I'm going off the idea you already had one.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, he would need yours. He would not provide. That would actually be more.
It'd be more. Okay.
Yeah.
How much would it be if he provided it?
Let me check actually how much a quarterstaff he. Which I actually do know where that is. Hold on. Picking up my gemstones. I don't need gemstones. I need weapons. Not silvered weapons. Okay. Almost there. Quarterstaff. That is the cheapest part. That would be 2 silver.
Yeah, I'll see if he can't provide that for me.
Okay. And so he would grab, he probably already has one made, honestly. He's a woodworker. He's been making some, so he'd grab a quarterstaff and do that for you and then attach it all.
Okay, awesome.
And then, Connor, what would you like to do?
2 things. First of all, after he finished with the infusion, he's going to bring it back to Vokton.
Okay.
And he's just going to drop it into his hands, not telling him what he did.
Okay.
I thought you were pawning it off.
Why would I steal something of yours and sell it?
I just put the armor on. A little half confused, half anticipated. I feel like I'm gonna start flying or something. I'm not quite sure.
It's kind of,
Kind of looks at his confusion, realizes he hasn't said anything. Oh, I did some magic with that. Should do things. Help you with concentrating on spells.
That's what I meant. Thank you much. That's appreciated. Would you I kind of reach into my pocket and pull out like 5 gold. Would you take payment?
No, I wouldn't.
I pause. I'm not used to this kind of kindness.
Just call it a favor. And if I need one later, I can ask you for one.
Favor. Okay. Yes, please do.
And other thing, I desperately need something to protect Lucia with because he has no weapon and Spritzen does no damage.
Yes, you do. So
I have an extra hammer if you want.
You do.
I don't think Lucia can use a hammer, to be fair.
What can Lucia use so I can have an idea of what might...
He's got a really high dex, and I need to see proficiency.
Yeah, more so proficiencies is what I mean, yeah.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, because I know as Artificer you automatically get firearm proficiency.
Yes.
Just give
And I'm-
Lucia a gat. It'll be fine. Go buy the shotgun.
Simple weapons
And
and firearms.
Yeah, simple weapons and firearms. Okay.
Lucia gets 2 Tommy guns.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I also apparently have medium armor proficiency, which I didn't know I had.
That's good stuff. Okay, so what are you looking for? What does Lucia want?
Different firearm related.
Firearm related?
Firearm related.
That's a different document. Okay. Ahem. What kind of firearm?
I am trying to figure that out.
Okay. Because there are I will say there are a couple firearms at the
Where?
magic item stand. So there are a couple magical firearms you could possibly look at, but
Where is? You know what? I'll look at those first. I will look at those first.
okay, magic firearms.
Magic firearms first. Yeah.
I will just go through, for sake of brevity, I will go through what is available in the magical firearms. So, there are, let's see. Okay. There is the assassin firearm. It's a +1 weapon, and attacks made with it have no visible flash or audible noise, so you would stay hidden if you were to fire with it. Dragon pistol. You have to get special ammunition for it. Lead balls instead of the standard firearm bullets. And if you do, then they actually all creatures within 5 feet of where it strikes must make a dex save or take fire damage. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's a musket. If you Let's see. As an action, you can use this weapon to perform a spell strike. When you cast a single offensive cantrip as part of the attack, it must be one with a casting time of 1 action. If it hits, the target takes both the damage of the musket and of the cantrip, even if the cantrip would normally require a saving throw. So there's the 3 magic firearms that are there. So either like a sniper, silent pistol, or basically a dragon's breath weapon.
Yeah, the first one. How much is it?
That one is going to be rare. Awesome. I'm going to say, because I actually don't have prices for those, because I wrote that fucking ages ago. I'm going to say closest equivalent being this. Nope. They need weapons. Range weapons are on page 8. Fucking, I passed it. Pass. There we go. Okay. I'm going to say that would probably be in the range of 1,500 gold. It is
Let's go. A normal
actually.
type of firearm.
I apologize. I would say that is probably more like 1,000. I think 1,000 is a little more fair.
Let's look at a normal firearm. Yeah.
Okay, normal firearm. What kind are you looking for? Pistol, rifle, shotgun? Give me an idea.
Is the document anywhere in
I-
the server?
I will. No. It is here. It'll take too long to find it.
Rifle. Probably rifle.
Rifle. Okay. A musket. It's a D12. He's going to say it's probably going to be about. Feels like too much. I'm going to say 150 gold. And that is for it and about 20 bullets. I'm going to say with firearms, I am going to require you to track ammunition because unlike arrows, which it can be a given, you go and retrieve them, you
Can't
cannot
really do
retrieve
those.
bullets. So I will require you to track these.
Is this not the document that's
It's
in player resources?
it is. Is it in there?
It's a firearms document. It
Nope,
has the
that's
Dragon's
it,
Breath
Connor.
weapon.
That's it, Connor. Yeah. I will say I'm changing prices a little bit here on the fly because I don't entirely agree with the old prices I gave. So things are changing, but yeah. So that currently is that what you're going with? It does have a range of 150/600, by the way.
That is what I'm gonna go with. Yeah.
What is your strength mod? Or not modifier?
No.
Sorry, your strength score.
10.
You will have to hook this weapon. You will have to put it down on a surface to use it. You do not have the strength to use it just standing. It is 13.
Then let's not do that.
Okay. The next best thing would probably be, and about the same, would be a revolver. It's got about the same range, a little less, 100/400. However, it can hold 6 shots. It's a D10. I'm going to say this is 200, though. And that does not have a strength requirement.
Can we get the neighborhood rogue to steal them?
If the neighborhood rogue would like to try. I'm going with the idea that you can all kind of see each other vaguely from where you are. Your passives are high enough for that. So if you would like to steal an item for someone, you may try.
Speaking of stealing,
Yes.
no, not stealing, my bad. Seeing,
See,
perceiving, how many people are still in the area? Or
in
have
the
they all already left?
I will say that nobody has left, because this does not start until everyone is ready. So as soon as everyone is out of the market and ready to go is when the competition starts.
Okay.
So you're not at risk of losing out. However, in the market, you guys are probably one of the only groups left. There are a couple small people meandering. However, a lot of people honestly didn't buy anything because a lot of people didn't have anything to either barter or didn't have gold on them when they died.
What a shame.
Yeah.
So what am I stealing?
What do you want to steal? What do you want to steal?
That shotgun back. I'm joking. Give it to Lucia.
I will say that Lucia's basically just gonna kind of back off. He is gonna go over to Isaac. So, think we could work out some sort of deal between the two of us.
Kind of deal.
I need something for protection, but I don't really have the coin.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I quite enjoy my own creation, it doesn't do a lot for me in that aspect.
So when you say protection, are you looking more for armor or weaponry?
Are you looking
There's
to
a
protect yourself or deal some
gun
damage?
that I was looking at.
Sorry, what was that, Lucia? I heard like half of it and then
There was a gun that I was looking at.
I got
What would I owe you for doing this for me, though?
You feel a cold, Lucia. You feel a cold hand on your shoulder from behind.
He doesn't seem to react.
I have. You see something bundled up in parchment paper as you see Voktin kind of shove it in front of you from behind.
What is this?
I don't take handouts. I repay my so-called favors with diligence and priority. It's a gift.
What is it?
Just open it up. I place it down on whatever is nearby and just kind of walk away.
Lucian,
I'm
do you
guessing basically the floor because I don't know
The
what's
floor.
nearby.
I
Just
feel like I
kinda
just played through the
sits.
floor. That's fine. I feel like I'd do that.
Yeah. Here.
Just kind of takes his cane, pokes at it for a moment.
It moves. No, I'm kidding. It does not move.
And he picks it up. Just kind of looks at Isaac and turns away from him to try to see what it is.
Do you open it?
Yeah.
It's
It
the
is
weapon.
Yep, it's the revolver.
Now, I will say, Vaktan, you don't have proficiency with firearms, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to say due to your character, the times, the weapon is there. There is no ammunition.
Interesting.
I have ammunition
You have ammunition.
for a
Yes, you
pistol.
do. Yes, you do.
Just kind of looks at Isaac. I guess never mind.
Okay.
And he kind of slinks off towards wherever Elia is, sits next to her, even if she's standing somewhere, doesn't care. And he's. I think I can do that more than once a day, correct?
Do what?
Infusion.
As long as you have a slot left to put an infusion in, you can do an infusion.
Yeah, I'm checking that currently. The infusion vanishes after a number of days equal to intelligence mod.
Mhm.
You replace it. Different infusion. I hate reading. Ow, my eyes.
Then simply don't. It's what I did.
Hatred. Speed.
Remove your eyeballs.
Listen, I didn't read Artificers. That's where Varys came from. Just ask Aaron.
Do believe I can.
Mm-hmm.
Too soon, Josh.
What was that, Aaron?
Too soon.
Too soon. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. He's not gone forever. He's coming. He's coming.
Okay. What I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do.
I do not. Tell me.
I don't remember the name.
You should find it.
I'm trying
I
to.
know.
I'm really
She will
bad
spritz
at
and all that.
this. Repeating shot.
Okay. So,
That's what
you
it
do
is.
not require ammunition.
Yes, it
I
is.
believe it also becomes a +1, and you don't have
It
to
does.
reload. So
I
now
just
you
don't
have
want to
just
deal with ammunition. So
a
thank
gun.
you.
You just go bang, 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 just over and over again. But you have to redo that every so many days per your intelligence pot, because it'll go.
4.
Yeah. So every 4 days, you will have to redo
you.
that. I will say this, okay? Down here in Krakatoa, time doesn't flow exactly correctly, and I don't feel like dealing with it. So, time will start when you get back to the material plane. Because it is much too complicated to do it otherwise, because I don't know the exact conversion rate from Krakatoa time to Ioditihis time. I don't know the conversion rate. So I'm just not going to deal with it. So you will essentially have that for the entire time here, and then it'll start then.
So, what was the damage for the gun?
It is a D10, and if you want to write the range, it is 100/400. And because you have repeating shot, that's really the only things that matter to you. Yes, Elia.
What was it called?
One last real quick thing.
It is a revolver, Connor. It is a
Lucia.
Thank
pew
you.
pew 6-shooter. Yep. Yes, Elia.
One last quick thing that Alaya would like to do with her own things. Could she fashion a rope dart out of her open rope and a dart?
Yes, I did see your message. Yes, you may. You may do that if you so choose.
Sweet.
I'm interested to see how you use it. And okay, yeah, you can do that. Any other preparations before you go join in front of these grand stairs. Anyone have anything they would like to do? This is possibly the last chance. I've not heard anything. Oh, Isaac, you saying something?
Is there a building in this area?
In this area, there is not. The closest thing are the market stalls.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically open air, and you're almost on a bridge of sorts, like a very wide bridge, with the stairs in front, and then the city far off in the distance all around you.
I would like to go ahead and put my hood on.
You hood on, putting it on, and you do so. And is this on the hood of your specific item?
Yes.
Okay, good to know for that. So you keep that in mind anytime that would matter. If you have to make a check. So there you go. I've not heard anything else. So let's go. Let's do it. So as you all make your way back, Jacob does join you again. He'd kind of gone off on his own, and he has come back. Has bits of patchwork leather armor on himself at this point now. Has a little bit of armor. And he does actually, Vaktan, he takes out the short sword and he pulls it out. I thank you so much for your kindness. However, I think I have picked up something of my own. And in his hand, he's going to sort of wave his hand in the air, and a sword is going to apparate in his hand. I think I should be able to take care of myself now. Thank you.
Give a short smile, and I retrieve my item.
Okay. I will not forget your kindness now. And it disappears in his hand. Let us begin. And so, you all walk back, and she is standing there again, Idar. She is standing on top of these stairs. Now, it seems like all of you are ready. That looks good, Elia, by the way. Thing you sent me. Looks good. So, he's going to stand there, raising her glass, taking a sip. It is time for you all to go and find the orbs. I wish you all the best of luck, and I will be here upon your completion. As a reminder, you are to find an orb. Each one will have a riddle. Your goal is not just to find it, but to put it next to the correct statue. So choose wisely. There is punishment for choosing incorrectly. She is going to snap her fingers, and the ground is going to vanish out from under you, and you are all going to begin to fall. And as you fall through the air, through the clouds, you all land in this courtyard. And around you, everyone else lands as well. And for the purposes of what is about to happen, I need you all to roll initiative and put it in dice rolls. As soon as you land, people start fighting. They start stabbing each other, shooting each other. There's a cacophonous just boom, boom, as firearms fire off at each other. And the many of swords being drawn and slashing at each other. Nobody hits any of you yet. However, there are people looking in your direction. So, 19, 23, 20. Yes. Very nice. Now, here's what I'm going to do, because I see Vaktan and Lucia, you both tied. I'm actually going to give you two a choice. You will go essentially on the same initiative order, but every turn it will be your choice who goes first. And you guys can talk about it. That is how we'll do it rather than reroll. Because if you guys want to set up any kind of combo moves, you can do that way. So I will do it as such. So I'm going to go.
Do you mind if before we get into all of this, if we take a short break?
I think that is actually a great idea. I'll put it on Be Right Back. And we're back. We are back after a break. So, we have initiative. So I will go through here. So first up is Vakta and Lucia. Same initiative order. Again, you guys can choose who goes first each round. So that'll be that. That'll be how we do you guys. Isaac is up next. Then we have Elia, Edna. Jacob will be fighting with you because he is a member of your group for now. And then group 1 and 2. I just called them Mercs. So Mercs 1 and 2. Merc 1 group has 3 people. Merc 2 group has 2. And they are looking almost as hateful at each other as at you guys. You are all quite literally fighting for your survival. You guys are in the middle of them. However, your group being one of the last ones to get back from shopping are in the back of this large cluster of people. You are in the city, almost what looks like a Times Square type thing. There is room behind you you can run. You can either run or you can fight. So keep that in mind. Now it is up to Vaktan and Lucia first. Group 1 and 2 are about equally spaced from your guys' group. I'm going to say they're about 20 feet away on either side. Lucia and Vaktan, who's going first? Whoever speaks first goes.
You said they were how long? How
They're
far?
20 feet away on either side. Group 1 here with 3 people, group 2 here with 2 people. And then space.
And you said one of them had. So one's 3, one's 2.
Well, group 1 is 3, group 2 is 2. And then on the side where group 2 is, open space. No other people.
You good with me going first, Bogdan?
Go for it.
Okay. I just need to one of these. It's this one. Yes. Okay. So, a group with 3 people in it is going to get a lovely taste of generational trauma.
As don't we all. Go ahead. What do they need to do?
That would be a con save.
And apologies, is this group 1 or 2?
I believe it was group 1 that had the 3 people in it.
Think about it. 1, 3, 2, 2. So yeah, so
Okay.
3 people? Okay. And what do they need to beat?
I am checking that. I'm trying to find it. What is it? Where is spell save? That's what it was. Okay.
Yep, spell save.
They have to beat 14.
Literally all of them fail. It doesn't even matter. I don't even remember what kind of save it was. It doesn't matter. That was a 5 on the dice, an 8 on the dice, and an 11 on the dice. None of those are high enough.
Okay. They are paralyzed.
So these 3, and you actually do catch a few people, not in that group as well, just due to the sort of compacted nature further in like that, because they're toward the more people. Their bodies start to lock up and seize up, and they kind of as they're seizing up, and those 3 are effectively until because they can save on the end of each of your turns or their turn.
At the start of each of their turns, they can remake the save.
Okay, so for now they are out of the fight. Anything else you can or would like to do?
Lucia's basically just gonna say, "Run?" Question mark, and he's making his way towards the. He's not going to go anywhere. He's going to let someone else lead this.
Okay.
But he is going to question if we're running or not.
Okay, so all of you here, you see them lock up and you run. And so, Vaktan, it would be you next.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Fog Cloud on the other group.
The group of 2 or group of 3?
A group of 2.
Okay, Fog Cloud on the group of 2, gotcha. And
And
so
then I'm gonna do what?
I was just gonna say, like, as you do this, the fog sort of goes out. Are you centering it on them, or
Yes.
okay? So the fog will stop at the very edge of your group.
Okay, so we can still see each other, correct?
You can see each other. It does not encompass any of you, but it's right on the edge of you guys.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna make a dead sprint. You said there was an empty space. Where exactly?
Basically, toward the group that you put the fog cloud in. If you go in their general direction, you will be going toward. Again, think of this sort of like Times Square, a large park, but without the trees. It's more just stone and gravel, and then around you is buildings everywhere. Again, it's like a New York City kind of thing. So if you were to go in their direction of the two group, anywhere, you will eventually hit a building.
Then I'm gonna make a dead sprint towards the group and just run into the fog and not stop running until I get
Okay.
it out.
What is your movement? 30?
My movement is 30. Yes.
And it's a 20-foot 20-foot radius. You can't quite get out of the fog cloud with your movement.
Okay.
You are going to be 10 feet from the edge.
Okay.
However, I'm guessing you're trying not to run directly at them.
Yeah, I would have curved around them a little
Curve
bit.
around. Cool. Then you're about, again, 10 feet from the edge. They
Okay.
wouldn't know you're there. They hear footsteps, but they're like, whoa, what do we do? And so, yeah, that's that. And so, anything else for you? Any bonus actions?
No. No.
Okay. So then it is over to Isaac. You are next. There are 3 paralyzed and 2 which you cannot see, but there's a fog cloud and then Bogdan runs through it.
Testing.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Apparently none of my headphones want to work.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Alright. So, you said there was a space open behind us?
Yes, just wide open space basically, and that's the direction Bogdan went, and the fog cloud is.
And in front of us is the group of fighting people?
Yeah, it's just thousands of people just duking it out right now. Some people you do see running away, but majority of people are fighting.
What's the light situation like here?
It's about. It seems like midday, although you look up and there's no sun, but it's about the light of midday.
Okay. You said we dropped, and I was just making sure we could still see things.
Yep,
that are
you can
happening.
still see. It's again as if there's a sky above.
Okay. So I guess I'm following Voktin into the fog.
Okay. Would you like to do any kind of dash maneuver, or are you just using your regular movement?
Dashing
Dashing.
to get through it.
So you will, you follow Voktin through, and your normal movement is 30, so it'd be 60 total.
Mhm.
So then, yeah, you would actually, just for the briefest moment, see Voktin as you pass. It's like very brief through the fog, and then you just rush on past. You are able to get out of the fog, and if you go your full with dash, you would actually be 20 feet from it. And I will say for you, because you are the one out of the fog cloud at this point, the nearest building from where you would be is probably another 60 feet. And that is like
Okay.
to the edge of a building. There are alleyways, but again, these are large, towering skyscrapers.
Okay. So I'm guessing I can't see the paralyzed group now that I'm on the other side of the fog cloud.
That is correct. On the other side of the fog cloud, it is obscuring them. You can see some other people, past that group, in this large crowd, but none of the paralyzed group.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So next up would be, I believe, Alaya. That is correct. Alaya, what would you like to do?
So you said that these orbs that were above the statues went off in different
did.
directions. Did we see which directions they went off into?
Yes, I would say using almost like cardinal directions, right? You have, if you guys were facing the staircase, and that is north. One of them went east, south, west, and then some places in between, basically fanning out behind where you guys would have been. So essentially, the direction Isaac and Vaktan are running is in the vague direction of where they went.
Okay. So as Lucia stuns these people and says run, Alaya will sort of click her heels together with her fancy new boots, and then sort of go to crack her back and just smile and say, "That's exactly what I was thinking." As she cracks her back, she then restructures her bones into that of a four-legged animal. The movement speed, pace now being 260 feet, and runs in the direction of the closest orb.
Okay. The closest one, make me a quick, because they are not like clearly visible. This is again very much a scavenger hunt. Make me a quick perception check as you're running through. And I'm going to say at disadvantage, not so much due to the speed actually, more so just the terrain. 18. Still very good. With an 18, you see a faint blue glow. It's on probably maybe the 10th story of the nearest skyscraper. And it's just very faint, and then it's gone. Again, this is the 10th story. You couldn't get there. What'd you say your movement was?
260 she moves.
260. Okay, it's about 60 from there, 60 from there, so it's 120. So you could get to the building with 120 feet. Are you wanting to try to get to it?
Yes.
How would you try to get to it? With your remaining movement, which is 140.
Would she be able to get inside the building?
You can. You can get inside the building. There is, so weirdly enough, no... You think there's no door for a minute, but it's just this big cutout section of the wall. Again, this was the City of Giants. These are massive buildings.
Actually, how high up in terms of feet is the 10th floor?
The 10th floor, every floor is roughly... Doing some math in my head. It's about 400 feet up. Every story is about 40 feet to accompany even the largest of giants, storm giants, which are about 30.
In that case, she won't go inside the building, but she'll attempt to sort of run up the side, using her dog-like anatomy to sort of claw and run up the side of it. So that'll be, without climbing speed, half her movement.
I'm actually going to require you to
70
make
feet.
either a athletics or acrobatics check.
Also, let me check which one's higher. Acrobatics.
Yeah. Because this is very much a sheer wall, and there aren't a lot of handholds. Say 23. Okay.
23.
I'm going to say with a 23, it is still half your movement, but you can do this. So, half your movement, because did you say your
30
dash?
feet up. No, this is, so she used her action and bonus action to activate all
That's
this
correct. So then, because you're currently at 140, so
these
you'd be able to
70
get
feet.
70. Yep. So
shit.
then,
100, and I'll put a note of that in my private chat.
yes, please do. And I'll keep a note of it here as well. So you begin to make your way up the sheer wall. So there you go. That would be your turn. So now it is over to. Oh, you're okay. You're okay, Aaron. It is over to Edna. So, yes, it would be your turn. What would Edna like to do? Yeah, never mind. Funky internet. We got funky headphones and funky internet
Purgatory.
today. Yeah. It happens. Hey, what's nice though is, well, hopefully, should clear up. It might just be a weather thing, I think, which is supposed to get better. Hello. If internet is being too funky, we can come back. That is okay. Yeah, can. Oh, I just see message. Can't hear anything, and I don't know what's up. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'll fill them in later. What I'm gonna say while their stuff's being funky, I'm gonna say majority of the group has started going. I'm gonna say until Aaron's stuff is fixed, Edna's probably gonna follow as well. I believe has a little bit faster movement as well and should be able to get just out of the fog cloud. So until Aaron's stuff's back, that's what I'll say Edna's doing. Jacob is going to look at the situation. Go, I'm not like this is more than I'm used to, and is going to actually let me look at something here. Yeah, Jacob's gonna fucking vanish. Yeah, he's just gone. And there's like this puff of smoke, and he's gone. And he
Figment
does
of our imagination.
yes, figment of your imagination. No, he's actually going to then appear over by. I'm gonna say he's probably going to appear just at the bottom of the building. Casting. Let me actually make sure this is exactly how this works because I'm used to this spell. Yeah, no, he could do this because he can do this once per. Yeah, he's gonna cast Dimension Door near the building and away from the fucking combat. So he's going to do that, kind of looking a bit shaken, and is going to just be standing there, kind of watching you climb the fucking building, like, where the hell are you going? And that's his turn. Mercs, they're going to attempt, and I mean attempt, to break the paralysis. What was that DC, Connor? 14? Okay. One of them does break it. The other two, there was an 8 and a 3 on the dice. So one of them was an 18, though. Natural 18. So they are going to break the paralysis, kind of shake it off, a few cracks of bones, and they are going to rush forward toward you, and they are going to make an attack. So they are going to strike at you with their longsword. That's going to be a natural 17 for a... I'm guessing that hits. Yeah, okay. So this is one-handed. It could be worse. However, that is almost max. That is going to be 9 damage. 9 slashing damage as he brings the sword one-handed across down on your arm, and he slashes you across the shoulder. That's his turn. The mercs in the fog. They're actually going to attempt to find Vakhtyn, because they heard someone in the fog running through. but don't actually know where you are. So they are going to attempt to find you. So this is going to be perception. Vaktan, I do need you to make me a stealth check, please.
All right.
Just to give the basis for what they have to beat.
Let me go over here. $13.
They both do kind of feeling around in the fog and just kind of focusing their eyes. They're just able to catch a glimpse of a shape, and they know about where you are, but they can't do anything else on this turn attack-wise. Actually, that's incorrect. One of them is going to, with a dagger, make an offhand attack. Try to at least get some damage out. That is going to be an unnatural 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits for sure.
Okay. So he's going to... that is only going to be 2 damage.
Oh, okay, I'll survive.
Yep, you'll live. So yeah, he just he finds you, there you are, brings out a dagger and just brings it right across, stabbing into your back. You feel the sharp pain in your back. And that is his turn. So now it is over to the top of the round, Vaktan and Lucia. Again, whichever of you would like to go first.
I'm trying to figure something out, and I am struggling to figure it out, and I cannot find the information, so if I could get some help with it.
I can help you real quick, yeah?
So, Lucia's a mark of passage variant human, right?
That is correct.
And you get spells from being a mark of passage variant human.
Yes.
But I cannot find any information on when exactly you unlock those spells. Because yes, there's spell level, but that doesn't tell you when you can use said spells.
When you
it
get
just
that spell
says
level.
You have those spells.
When you get that spell level, yes. You already know those spells, so you can cast them whenever you have that level spell to do so.
Okay.
It's kind of how Warlock stuff as well works. And other classes as well, is basically it has the spell level, and it's just like whenever you get that spell
But here's the question that I have.
Yeah.
Based on that. Is it based on the totality of a character's level? Or is it based on individual levels for different multi-classed subclasses?
I'm going to treat it like you did with Reese, where basically he was a multi-class, and so you didn't really care where I used the spell slots. For like a wizard spell, I could use the other spell slots or whatever, and vice versa. I'm going to treat it the same. I do not care what spell slots you use for it. If you have the spell slot, you can use the spell.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter character level. It's all about spell slot level.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to try to understand, because it was not very clear, and I didn't really know.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. So which of you would like to go first?
Quick question.
Who wants to go first?
Yes,
okay,
Ron.
I might do something, but I have a question. So, it's can I see him from his range, considering how close he is to me?
The guy who just attacked you. You would know enough of where he is, despite the obscured vision, because he stabbed you, to be able to make an attack, I'd say, without disadvantage.
What about a spell?
Depends on the type of spell. What is it?
Sapping Sting. You can zap the vitality of one creature you can see in range.
See, that's hard. I'm gonna say you can't because you cannot see him, and it's just that one word in there. Like, you could possibly, like, make an attack with a weapon of some kind, just swinging and know where he is, but, you can't see him.
Okay, let me check something. No, I'm not going to use that yet. I'm going to go ahead and use Shalaya. Is that right? Shalaya? Shalaya?
Shillelagh?
Shillelagh.
Maybe. I mean, I know there's a spell or something called that.
That's it. It just makes my staff better.
Oh, I don't even really know how that works. Shillelagh. Oh, did I find it? Hold on.
It makes the staff magical, I believe.
Oh, does it
Yes,
really?
it makes it a 1d8.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Cool. Then yeah, do the thing. Oh, I found it here. Okay. Oh, you can. Oh, wait, the spell. It's a cantrip. You can use your
Wisdom, right?
spellcasting ability instead of strength, and the weapon's die becomes a D8. Okay. Weapon also becomes magical if it isn't already. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So yeah, do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use that as my bonus action, and I'm gonna like backhand, like with the staff, back staff.
Okay, so you just bring it, wham, right in the
The last
direction you
word
know him to be.
Yes, the last word right behind me, and the last words he hears are "You fool."
Lovely.
Oh, I don't think I hit. I got an 11.
An 11, I'm sorry, does not hit. And so you kind of swing it back and you just catch air. And you know someone was there, but you just catch air.
All right, I'm gonna use the rest of my movement. Wait, would he get a opportunity attack? Because does he know where I am?
He would get an opportunity attack, however, what was I going to say? Get an opportunity attack, but he would have disadvantage because you are now moving.
Okay, I'm gonna make a dead sprint forward and just take the hit.
Okay. Yeah. Only reason, yeah, because he knows where you are, but also you're not exactly where you were. So he will attempt. And so as you run and you feel a blade pass by your arm, and then you hear, "Oh, what the fuck, dude? You just stabbed me." He stabbed his front. It was a natural one. It was a natural one. Yeah, he wouldn't have hit either way, I don't think, but yeah, it was a natural one. So you run out, and you are able to get out of the fog cloud within 10 feet. You now have 20 feet left.
I just want to take a second to admire the guy who just got stabbed because he could tell by the feeling of the blade that it was his friend.
He knew. He knew.
He's like, wait a minute, I know this stab.
I know this. This isn't the first time you've done this. That's why we're down here.
Anyway, that's it for my turn. I'm just gonna make a dead sprint and let him stab his friend.
Okay. So, Lucia, do.
So, running away from this dude would get me an opportunity attack, right? Like,
That is
he's going to hit
correct.
me.
He will get an
I'm
opportunity.
not going to run. I'm going to cast Misty Step.
Aha. 30 feet, right?
Yep.
Where exactly are you
30 feet
going?
in the direction that Vaktin and
Everyone else.
and Isaac went. Everyone else went. Yeah.
Okay, 30 feet. You go that way. Are you trying to stay out of the fog cloud?
Doesn't matter if he's in it or not, because he's also going to take his 35 movement speed and run the rest of it too.
Okay. That will put you 55 feet from the building, but you are out of the fog cloud.
Cool.
But you can see everyone else, and you see Alaya up the side of the building.
Let's see if I get anything else. How many times can I do
You
that?
do still have an action.
I know, that's why I'm trying to figure out what I can do with it.
Could you use your movement and action to dash into that dude's dimension door?
Into what?
I think that's how... Because it doesn't stay.
I have no idea how dimension door works.
It's
I
basically just like a teleport. He just kind of whoosh, and then he's over there now.
I imagine dimension door to open up a portal.
Which
Imagine he just dash
is cool.
through his portal. That's like some portal level shit.
Yeah, right.
This dog and personal space.
Truthfully, if I had thought about it, he could have taken Lucia with him. I just didn't really understand how the spell worked either until just now. So, that's my bad. Could have just like grabbed Lucia and let's get out of here. And he's gone. But I did not think of that, so that did not happen. I will say, Lucia, at the current moment, you cannot see any of the enemies. If anything, you're thinking might have to do with that.
I know, that's what I'm reading. What I've got for that? I want this. Must look up spell. that I don't remember how it works. I have ideas.
Yeah.
Don't need that one. Okay. I think. Can I do that with this? Within ranges. 30 feet. Okay. So, people in fog cloud. How far am I from the fog cloud currently?
You are. Hold on. 20 feet. You would have gone.
Get off me.
And you went your full 35?
Yes.
25.
After poofing.
You were
30
25 feet away.
Okay. So, here's a question for you then. If I were to use thaumaturgy and place it, it's 30 feet from his. I want to make it sound like someone is yelling something. Doesn't matter what. But not the direction we went.
Thaumaturgy, right?
Yep.
Have it so that it sounds like someone's yelling that there's an orb in this direction.
You can't
basically.
create actual, like, words. It's, for example, like you can create ominous whisper, but it's just a bunch of gibberish overlapping.
Your
noises.
voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute. That's the reason why. Because it
From
also
you.
says that you can create it within range. It doesn't say it has to be from you.
Yeah. Let me check something, because I have always ruled against that if it booms up to 3 times, it has to come from you. Let me check something. Because I'll go to the internet for this one. I'm gonna say no. I'm going
Rude.
to just. I'm gonna say no. You could speak from where you are louder. You could create something like whispers in the fog cloud, or something like that, but it would not be able to be actual words. And it could not be, for example, your
Okay.
voice.
Then how about this? Footsteps. The sound of footsteps.
That you can do.
Then I'll do that.
Footsteps. Okay. Going what direction? Away from where you are?
Away from where we are.
Okay. I'm gonna actually have you make me a quick deception check. I'm gonna say with advantage.
What's your deception, Lucia? It's shitty. 16.
That is enough. So you do this, and you do hear, huh, we went that way, and then in the fog cloud, kind of heading the opposite direction from where you.
Cool.
Aided by the fact that Vokton had just run off, and so they kind of were like, where the fuck did he go? And so they kind of start heading that direction.
Cool.
Okay, that's your turn.
Yep.
Okay, it is over now to Isaac. What are you doing? You would be, I believe, still 60 feet from the building. Because I don't believe you moved from there.
Are there any other buildings that may be closer, or that's the closest one?
There are buildings next to buildings, so if you guys are kind of walking toward or running toward this one, you could probably go to another one. It's right next door. There's a bit of an alley in between, maybe 20 feet across, but then another massive building.
Okay, I'll just go to the one that Elia's like scrambling up the side of.
Okay. You can get there if you are to dash.
Yes, I'll dash.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
Okay. All right. And so then next it would be Elia. So Elia, you are scrambling up the building. You have 70 feet. You've made it so far. You have 340 left.
Would I need to make another acrobatics athletics check, or would that 23 cover it?
I am going to require you to, yes. So yes, you will have to, just to see kind of how, because if it is 24,
24.
even better. So I'm going to say with a 24, are you doing any kind of dashing up this? Because I will say you can to get a little extra movement if you'd like.
It depends. Is her movement halved again? Still.
Yeah, just due to the nature of climbing, because I don't believe you have a climbing speed.
No. So base speed's 260. Half of that would be 130. Double it for a bonus action dash. And then another 130
You could
for
get up
action
there
dash.
if you were to use a full turn, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can.
So yeah,
if you
she'd
would
do
like.
that. Yeah, so she'll use her action and bonus action to get 390 feet up. Require a key point.
Yep.
And then she'll sort of
Okay.
go to the window of the 10th floor and look in to see if she can see the open where it went.
Okay, so I will say this window, no glass, first. So you get up there and just kind of hang and look. And remember those like large pustules that you saw before? And it was like the thing about the giant insectoids that you remembered and how they would like burrow into the brains of giants and like turn them into zombies. First off, you see what looks to be a dead giant. And then a second. And then a second. Or a third. And you see these insects across the top. They turn their head in your direction. But you do see it. You see this, this orb, it almost looks like gold on the bottom. Like half of it, it's almost like an egg. The bottom half being gold. The top half being almost crystalline blue, glowing this light blue. This was the one above the cloud giant.
How far away would it be?
This one, inside, it's probably a good 40 feet.
Okay. Let me calculate something.
Yep, do that.
So using her movement and stuff, she would have gotten to the ledge and then onto it, and then getting up onto the 10th floor. That would have assumingly stopped her half movement effect.
Yes, once
Meaning
you are on the ground. Yeah.
She would technically have 120 feet of movement left.
Yes, you would.
Awesome. So she goes up to it.
Okay.
And she grabs it, if she can, with interact with objects.
That is a free action to interact with objects. Yep, you can do it once per turn for free.
And can she read what it says on the inscription?
What languages do you speak?
Celestial, Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Primordial.
At the current moment, no, you cannot. The lettering is shifting, though. It's not static. It's almost a gold engraving on the blue crystal, and it's shifting, and for a moment you think you can read it. And something to note. As you begin if you begin to turn with it at all, at any point, in the direction where you originally fell from, up there, which there is now a platform again, and a set of stairs that you can see to get back up. They're far off. As you turn in that direction, the wording becomes slightly easier to read. Turning back, harder to read again. Closer proximity to that statue, easier it is to decipher.
Okay. With that in mind, so moving 40 feet to the thing, picking it up, or
Mhm.
grabbing it, I should say. 80 feet of movement left.
Yep.
Another 40 feet to get to the edge. So that'll be 40 feet left.
Mm-hmm.
Half that, she'll get 20 feet back down. If she can.
I'm going to need you to make me an acrobatics check.
Also,
Because going down is arguably harder than getting up. 16.
16. Can I
16 passes.
use... Oh, does it? Awesome. I was going to use
16
my DM inspiration that you gave me.
You're okay. 16 does pass. You are
Awesome.
able to begin your descent down. You are currently at 20 feet. So you have the orb.
80 feet to go.
Question, just so I know, where are you holding it? Where are you keeping it?
Mouth?
It's a little too big for that. It is like
And she...
this big around.
Okay. I've done this in real life with coats and things and large jackets before. Can she put it down the back of her long coat and then tie the bottom of it up around her waist?
You can. You can do that.
Nice. Makeshift backpack.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it'll work. So that's how you do that. So now it would be over to you. You have the thing. Good job. It is over to Edna, who is currently having some technical difficulties. So I'm going to say they are probably going to actually, from where they are, having dashed out, I'm going to say they're probably going to just kind of stand ready and kind of just stand ready to defend the group. Seeing you kind of running down again, like, oh, seeing you have the thing and just kind of standing ready with the two warhammers, one in each hand, just, and I think she is going to rage. Get that ready, just in case. And so that is going to be Edna's turn. Jacob, who is dashed dimension doored over to the building, is going to kind of just stand there, look up, see you coming down. That's fast. And that's going to be his turn. Mercs, I'm going to say for this effect, they are basically out of combat. You guys disappeared. There are thousands of people there. You see them kind of run off. However, Alaya, there were some things in there, weren't there? There were some things in that building. Now, do we want to re-roll new initiative or just keep the enemies at the end?
I would say keep them at the end.
Keep them at the end? Keep initiative as it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. What... They're known as the Thelkath, and they are going to begin to make their way out of the building. And like that terribly cringy line in that one newer Star Wars movie, they fly now. And as they come out of the building, there are 3 of them. And they are about twice the size of you, Alaya. About at your height, they're about twice the size of you. I believe you're about, how tall? Because I'm forgetting here.
Let me double check that.
I couldn't remember if you were 5 foot something, like 5 foot.
Yeah, around 5'8".
5'8"? Yeah, that's about right, because they're actually about 12 feet, so a little taller than W. They're about 12 feet tall at full extension, which you see for a brief moment. They kind of hunch over and cackling, just kind of like hyenas, just, you know. And they're going to come out of the building, and one of them is going to try to attack you. 19?
19 was that?
19 to hit.
19 hits.
Okay. It is going to do a... Nope, I still need that dice. What am I doing? That is going to be only 6 piercing damage. However, I need you to do Do me a con save. 6. Okay, so you are going to take a little extra damage. And this
DM
is
inspiration point.
you can if you'd like, yes.
Oof.
Thank
Right.
you. Fuck for that. So, as it pierces into your back as you're going down, you feel it start to pump this venom into your body. But you just this calm, this control over your body you've spent decades, centuries mastering. You push that shit out and keep going. So you just take that little bit of damage.
6 was it?
Yes, 6 piercing damage. And as you begin to down the wall. So that is one of their turn. The other two are actually going to fuck it, they're gonna take the sprint action and they are going to down toward the ground. Times 5, they cannot reach the ground yet, even sprinting. It is 400 feet. They only have a 40-foot fly speed. So they are not able to get to the ground yet. But in the next turn they will. So, with that being said, it is over to Voktin and Lucia.
So what can I see? What of this have I seen? Because I think I'm out of the fog, right?
Oh, you've been out of the fog, yes. You have seen basically the entire last turn. With you being at top of initiative, you would have seen everything that happened.
And what is the placement of is it who's getting chased by the gremlins?
The gremlins. Elia is, who is 380 feet up on the
380 feet.
building. And then the other two are about 200 feet from the ground coming toward you guys.
Okay. So they're all still in the air, right?
All still in the air, yep.
Good deal. Let me see.
Gonna need a lot more D6s. Don't worry about what for.
How many of the creatures are there? Can I see?
There are 3 that you can see.
Okay. That's perfect. I'm going to use Tim's magic missile on each of them, see if I can't get them off their tail.
What is the range?
Oh, you know what? As you said that, I was like, wait a minute. Let me see real quick. Tim's magic missile. I'm going to guess 120, or maybe even 60. Tim's magic.
Yeah, let's see. 120. Yeah, and they are all outside of that range for right now.
Okay,
However,
and they're all running down the building, right?
They're all flying. 2 of them are coming down. Only one of them is staying up near Elia at about 380 currently. You could always ready the
That's
spell.
a good point. I'll just ready. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll ready it, and if they get in my range, I'll start firing them off.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So I'll whenever they hit that 120-foot mark, I'll let you know, and you can do that. Anything else for your turn? Any movement you'd like to do? Would you like to get closer to the building?
I'll get a little bit closer, yes.
Okay, about how far? Just so I have a range.
We'll do about 40 feet away from the building, maybe 30, 35. Yeah, 35.
Okay, you can do that. Yeah, with your movement, you can do that. So then, there you go, Illusion.
I'm going to take my action to make one of my experimental elixirs.
Okay, roll for that shit.
That, my good friend, is flight.
Flight. Oh, that's useful. Gives you like 30-foot fly speed, right?
Gains a fly speed of 10 foot.
10 foot.
For
Okay.
10 minutes.
Still really good for 10 minutes, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Decisions.
Decisions indeed. Got movement and a bonus.
Thinking. Where's Isaac right now comparatively to Lucia?
Went up to Isaac, I believe, went up to the same building as you guys. So I'm going to assume probably within 10 feet.
I'm like 55 feet, right? Because Lucia hasn't moved after Misty stepping and running. So that would have put
Actually,
them 5 feet ahead of me.
um,
And then I dashed past them towards the building.
Lucia did use movement as well. It has 35 movement, was 25 out of the fog cloud. You're right, though, Lucia hadn't moved really yet. From there, okay. After you came out with your normal movement, it was 60. You're right, it would be 55. No, you're actually correct. I was thinking of Edna, who dashed and then moved some more as well. Yep. And then was kind of just guarding. So yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, you'd still be exactly correct, about 50, 55, yeah. Which if you use your movement, you'd get within, a little closer, but
Question.
yes.
Could Lucia throw a bottle 20 feet?
You're going to have to make a d20 plus dex. And actually, that's incorrect. I'm not going to have you do that. I'm actually going to have... who are you throwing it to, Isaac?
Yeah,
Are
he's
you
going to
moving
move
up
up his
closer?
entire.
Okay.
He's going to move up his entire movement, which would get him 20 feet away from Isaac.
Isaac, make me a dexterity saving throw, please. As Lucia kind
And
of
of course,
chucks
Lucia's
this...
going to warn him first before just chucking it.
Good idea.
Unlike what he did earlier to Voktin.
See, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't gonna say anything, but that's what I was thinking.
So that's a 22.
22, and so Lucia kind of and chucks this bottle at you, and you definitely catch it. And so there you go. You have a bottle of something, unless Lucia tells you what it
Awesome.
does. It is an action to drink, I believe. Is that the rules on those?
Yes.
Okay.
As an action, a creature can drink or administer it to an incapacitated creature. God.
Okay.
I'm really bad at English.
I know. It's okay. So then, yeah, speaking of which, I believe that would be your turn unless you have a bonus action.
I am checking that real quick.
Okay.
I don't think that can reach. I think they're a little far for that one. Yeah, they're not in distance with that. So what does do? Okay. No. Can't. I don't have anything. That's my turn.
Isaac, up to you. You have a weird potion.
Yeah. I'm gonna store that for now.
Okay, cool.
And you said there's 3 of them, 2 of them at 200 feet, and 1 of them where?
380 feet, following Elia.
Okay. God. Okay, so I'm drawing my sling shot bow staff thing,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take a shot at one of them.
Holy shit, are they in your fucking range?
My range for using the short bow is 320 long distance, and I'm a sharpshooter, so
Oh, so that don't fucking matter to you. Oh my god, I love
yeah.
sharpshooter. God, I love that fucking feat. Yeah, make a roll. Make a roll to hit. Are you sharpshootering it?
I am
Are you
doubling down. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So 18 on the dice, that's a 17 to hit.
Let me actually double check here. Because I don't recall their exact AC. Where'd it go? You said 17? That will
17.
hit.
Awesome. For a total of 31 damage.
31. Ooh. Nasty. So yeah, that is this sling shot. I don't know what you call them. Ball. I can't think of the name right now. You release this shit just aiming practically straight up and just it takes a minute. Wham, and you see it just like falter a bit and just continue coming down. And yeah, I did not like that. Not at all.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and action surge.
Okay,
I'm going to do the same thing to the other one.
to the other one. Okay, do.
That is an 18 to hit.
18. That will hit as well.
This time for a total of 29 damage.
Still very good. And so this one hits not as quite as hard as the other one, but it's barely a difference, and it just slams into it, and it kind of this one a little closer to the building, just wham right into the building for a second from the impact as it blows it into it, and just kind of and comes back down and continues its way as well.
Right, how far am I from the building? I think I'm like right on the building, right?
You're with your how you moved before, you're like right on it. Yep.
Yes, I'd like to move inside the building and bonus action hide.
You can do same. Roll me a stealth check.
That is a 22.
22. As far as you know, you're hidden for now, and hopefully that stays the same. So that is going to be your turn then. It's going to be over to Alaya.
So she sprints all the way down, taking an opportunity attack.
Okay.
So with half movement, she can quite easily get down,
Yes.
and she still has 540 feet of movement left.
Real quick. If they hit, something bad could happen. Roll that opportunity attack. Let's see if something bad happens. The lowest, Alaya Sitnam, was a 17. That was a natural 20.
Misses.
Seven.
Bollocks.
You said it misses?
A 17 misses.
17 does miss.
A
Okay.
natural. Yeah, AC's 18.
Then they miss. Because I was going to say it was at. Oh, wait a minute. Why did I roll that at disadvantage?
I have no idea. Probably because of the speed.
Yeah, that's not how we wrote the rule, but I did it anyway, so I'm just gonna roll with it. With disadvantage, they would miss because that was a natural 20, and then I'm not gonna say the number because I don't want you to know they're plus yet. Um, but the
Which
total
one
was a
did you
17.
roll first? Did you roll the nat 20 first or
I,
the
I
17
did,
first?
but I did it, and so I'll let it slide. I'll let it
Okay.
go. So they do miss, thankfully.
Thankful. So
Um,
yeah, as she reaches the floor, she'll just sort of say to everyone in her group that is within earshot, so basically everyone She'll just sort of say, I've got the orb this way, and then 540 feet towards the statues.
Okay. Because of the distance, I'm going to ask the group. Does anyone have objections to following? Because if not, then we are going to kind of just drop initiative for now and go to you guys moving. And we'll just kind of go that way, roll, see if something happens, do it almost like travel. Just for the sake of what happens. And those things also will be pursuing, so it'll be like a half in, half out initiative. Once they catch up, we may hop back in. However, they are still quite a distance away. So, is everyone else going? At that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Going? Okay. Are we all sprinting? Elia, I don't know how you're going to do it because your movement speed's already whack. Are you trying to stay with the group? First of all, I want to ask that.
She'll try and get there as fast as possible,
Okay.
but she will try to stay within a reasonable distance of the group.
Stay
So maybe
within
like
your
100
normal movement
feet
speed of the
out
group?
max.
Like around 250 feet?
Yeah, that. Yeah, sure. About 250, 260 feet in front.
And then now with that knowledge, because that is kind of an outlier, for the rest of you, would you be sprinting? Lucia, you would? Okay. Bogdan and Isaac, would you guys be sprinting, going 5 times movement, or would you be going just like dashing the way? Or walking?
I guess I'd sprint. Yeah, I'd sprint.
Sprint. Okay. Isaac, you as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say then Edna does as well, and Jacob will as well. So as you go, let's roll. Let's see. Okay. The one that was about 380 feet up kind of goes, and then goes back in the building. The two that were about 200, one of them is a little slower, got hit a little harder by Isaac, falls behind, but one of them is in hot pursuit. And other than Elia, it's just a tad faster than everyone else. So, all of you can will go through the initiative order. If there's anything you can do, would like to do to it, to possibly stop it, kill it, any of that, can. And we'll just go in initiative order with it at the bottom. That way, if it's not dead, it reaches you then, and it does something. So, Vaktan Lucia. It is, I'm going to say it's 40 feet. It is 1 turn away. What would you like to do? If anything, you could just keep running and ignore it. But it is gaining on you.
I'm gonna keep running until it gets like within 15 feet.
Okay. Like readying an action?
Yes, I'll be using my what is it? Thunder wave to repel it.
Let me
Can
ask about
I-
Thunderwave real quick. Just
Ask a question before you do.
Do.
Could I do a thing? What is Thunderwave exactly? Explain this to me real quick.
So I'm gonna move towards them, otherwise it'll hit everybody. But it'll propel everyone kind of 15 feet away, or in a 15-foot range. I think it propels them 5 feet away. Let me double check real quick. Thunder wave
10 feet.
10 feet away within a
Okay.
15-foot range.
I will say, you could do that on this turn, actually. You could technically, because I'm treating this moving combat sort of like still combat. You could technically, using movement, slow down your run to get a little closer to it, to then do it, if you wanted.
Ooh, but there's a scary part of it. It emits a thunderous boom audible of 300 feet.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that.
No? Come on.
No,
come
I'm
on.
cocky, but I'm not that cocky.
What could happen?
Ooh, see, now this I might do. Let me try something.
Did you not ready your action to do the Tim's magic missile?
That
I
would have
did
been
earlier.
passed at this point because you guys started running. And especially
Let me
sprinting is a
just
full
say-
turn.
If you're going to do anything that requires an attack roll,
Yes.
let me do something first.
Go for it then, because I'm gonna do an attack roll.
Okay, let me make sure I know exactly what this does before I do that, because I constantly forget the wording of this, despite the fact that I use it way too often. Okay. Guiding Bolt.
Guiding bolt.
Guiding Bolt.
Guiding bolt. Okay. Because it'll give advantage on the next attack. That's if that hits.
Yes.
Roll to hit. What level are you doing it also?
I only have first.
Okay. Only first.
Oh. Oh. What is my plus to that? Not Artificer. He's 24.
Yeah, that'll fucking hit. Yeah.
Cool.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
1, 2, 3.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
13 damage.
13 damage.
That'll be radiant damage, by the way.
Okay. With that said, that actually hits, and it almost seems to sizzle its skin and burn. A little more than it should. And so take that as you will.
Was it
now,
a fire damage skill?
No,
Radiant.
radiant.
Interesting.
Yep. And so it does hit, it burns. And does not seem to like that. It kind of hisses at you a bit. And so yes, now the next attack roll will have advantage. So Vokton, whatever you wanted to do would have advantage.
Vokton, okay, so I'm going to turn on my heels and just yell, keep running, and run as fast as I can towards this creature. Jump in the air and try to smash down with Searing Smite, but I'm going to change it to Radiant.
Ooh, hold on.
And I'm going to be doing it 3rd level.
I mean, I'll say it's probably low enough to the ground to do that. Yeah, it's chasing basically right behind you. Fucking do it.
And I have some... Oh, first one's a 3. Come on. 18 plus my... let me find it. 18 plus 4, so 22.
22. Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Good deal. So now it's damaged.
Yes, I don't remember if Searing Smite is there. Do they have to make a save on that or no?
At the start of each of their turns, they will take 1d6 extra damage.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I'm passing at 3rd level, so it'll still do 1d6. That's it. But the initial damage is going to be 3d6s.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 6. Hold on. Five plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus it would actually be that. It was actually a 24, but it doesn't matter. It still hit. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll my staff damage, which is a D. There it is. That is going to be a grand total of 25 damage radiant. Not all of it's radiant, but most of it.
Very nice. Yeah. How much is radiant though? It's 15, I believe. Because it was the 9. Well, 4 plus 5, so 9 plus 6, 15.
8 minus. Yes.
Okay, because they do take a little more from that. So actually, yeah, you bring this and you jump, wham, and it just hits this thing and it goes down to the ground a bit. Again, just sizzling at the point of impact, and it kind of flames up a bit with this radiant light. I did not like that, not one bit. And so that is that. You do have some movement to turn and continue running if you so choose.
I'm going to do that.
Okay. You're a little bit behind the group now, however, you can catch up.
Would that provoke an opportunity attack?
That's what I was thinking.
It will actually, yes.
Not
So
to be
are you wanting to move?
a wasp in Vokton's ass.
So yes, with that in mind though, yes, would you like to move still?
Let me think, actually.
It's more so, it's not so much would you like to move. You're still moving. You're both still moving. It's just, do you want to leave its range to get closer to your friends?
Right. Yeah, I'll leave its range.
Okay, it will get the attack. That is going to be a 18.
It hits.
Okay. That is going to be 9 piercing damage, and I do need you to make me a con save.
Okay. A nat 20.
You feel the poison start to go into your veins. This thick poison, and it does. You push that shit out. You are fine. Fuck you
I
guys.
spit it out.
Fuck you guys. I want to fuck you guys up. No, I'm kidding. Um, yeah, you're fine, and you were able to continue running, getting a little bit away from this creature. So, with that said, that would be your turn, I do believe, because yeah, it's bonus action for that. So yeah, so it'd be over to Isaac. Is there anything you would like to do to it? You did cut
How
out. I think.
close to the ground is this thing?
Oh, there you are. You're good. It's honestly probably about 5 feet off the ground. It's hovering just a little bit above, just using all its forward speed. So about 5 feet off the ground.
Oh, also, I do have to make a oh wait, did you do that? Was that for the concentration? Or no, because I need to. I need to make a concentration because
Oh.
damage.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Do that real quick and then tell me the thing.
Okay. Is it a con save or is it a? No, it's a wisdom, right?
It's a con save. However, Connor, you did do that thing to the armor, right? So Vaktan
yeah,
gets to do the thing for.
I was thinking about that, but I did
armor.
get a 17-18.
You're good.
Okay, cool.
So then, yeah, Isaac, what would you like to do?
I'm thinking about drinking something and then riding the bug.
I mean, would you like to? You can. If you so choose, it is an action to drink. And I believe that gives you a 10-foot fly speed.
I have another question.
Yes.
Because I got something a few sessions ago or last session
Uh-huh.
that holds people.
Oh, which was that item? I'm honestly blanking on it right now. Yeah, which item was that? I'm honestly blanking on it right now.
I went to the black market and I got something that had hold person on it, but I'm not sure what form it's taking. Is it like a piece of paper that I just slap on like a sticker and then it holds them, or?
It is basically, as she kind of told it, it works exactly as the hold person spell. So whatever the range would that be normally, as you kind of mutter a few words on the paper, throw it out in the thing's direction while visualizing it, and then it will hold. I do believe this would work on this creature also, but I'm checking.
Is this thing a humanoid?
I do believe it counts as a humanoid. So
Hey.
it would, yeah. Yeah, that's... Sorry, I was reading on whether or not this thing would be counted as humanoid. It's really finicky in the wording, but I'm going to count it as humanoid. They have us to make a save. Okay. Did I give you a specific save for that, or no?
DC 14.
DC 14. Okay, and I believe old person is a wisdom, but I'm going to double check. Because I don't recall the save on this. Wisdom, yep. What is their wisdom? I already rolled it, so I'm not going to touch it. That's their wisdom. Okay. So as you mutter the words, throw it in its direction. It sort of begins to lock up and then just continues barreling forward. It got a 60. It doesn't have a very high plus. It just rolled fairly well. And
Alright.
so the card, as you throw it out, it kind of evaporates and it is sadly gone.
Okay.
But it does slow it down just a tad, but it does continue coming your way. So that is going to be that. That is an action to do, such as the spell. Any bonus action or anything you'd like to do?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So then
I
he's
do
going
have a
to.
question though.
Oh, go ahead.
Is Vakden now out of range since it slowed it down some?
Vakten was a little bit out of range already, as he had taken the opportunity attack and run with it.
Mm.
But it does put it just a little bit farther away. I'll say a couple feet.
Okay.
So there's that. Yeah. So then it would be over to Elia. Elia, you are already a little bit in front of the group. Again, you said you were staying about 250 feet away from the group. So without doing any kind of dash or anything, you wouldn't be able to get to it. What would you like to do?
Oh.
I would also, something that may
How
affect your decision, just because of speed and how this works. You are incredibly fast. While the group is still moving, and I'm not counting their normal movement against anyone, you are no longer going at the sprint speed during this specific turn. As you are using actions and things, you cannot sprint. So Elia, keep that in mind as you're keeping the range of the group and how far you're getting away.
Fuck it. She's gonna peel back to be sort of with the group, ready to help them finish this boog off.
Okay. And so you are able to get to the group with your movement. Is that all for you?
Well, she can't use actions or anything. But actually, she uses her action to get out of the bone reconstructing thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she's just back to normal.
Sounds good.
And then she's gonna dodge as a bonus action.
Sounds good. It's disadvantage on the next attack, right?
Yeah.
I believe it is. Okay. Edna is going to do Edna things. Edna is going to honestly just keep moving. Nothing really to do range wise. No, it has a little extra movement. Is going to actually duck back and he's going to attempt to make an attack on it. This is a Warhammer. We'll say it's the +1. However, sadly, I believe that'll miss. Let me check Edna's stats. Yeah, sadly, that is going to miss, actually. Ducks back and just brings the hammer down. And it just sails right by. Doesn't quite hit. And then is going to kind of honestly just stay near it, not wanting to risk that attack. Jacob. Jacob is
Edna
going to actually try
do-
to... Oh, go ahead.
Can Edna not two-weapon fighting with both of the hammers?
See, that's the tricky thing. They're not light weapons. I have a character I tried to do this with in another campaign. I would have to have a specific feat that would make me to be able to do that. That is the trick here. So sadly, no. But, so that'll be that. Jacob is going to... fuck it, he'll do it too. He'll go back there and he's going to try and make an attack, summoning the sword, and he's going to... He actually does hit. I'm shocked. Okay. And he does 4 damage. delightful. And he goes, "Ah," and it just hits it, and it's like, ah. Anyway, and continues on. So that's his turn. He's gonna go, oh, and kind of like try to get away though, so it'll get an opportunity attack. They're trading blows. It's gonna hit him too. Takes 7 damage. Let's see if he makes the save. He's good. He's good. Unnatural 20. He's good. Not even the NPC that's along with you guys will fucking go down to that shit. God damn it. So now it's up to the Thelkath. So it is going to using its
You've
movement.
activated my trap card. Go ahead and roll a
That's
Constitution
right.
saving throw.
God, you right. Okay, let me see. The damage, or not the damage, the plus. Okay, a decent plus. That is going to be only a 9 actually.
No, it does not succeed.
Okay, so it takes another, what is it? D6?
Yes,
Okay, give me that damage.
you're gonna take 1 damage.
No, it'll take an
Oh, yeah.
amount. So it does take it, and while it's not a lot, it does again seem to do a little more than it should. And so it's not looking too happy. So then, yeah, it is going to move its movement forward. It is going to take a opportunity attack from both Jacob and Edna. Let's see if they hit. Sadly, no. There was a 3 for Jacob on the dice, with not a high enough plus. And then Edna, that's going to be a 9 total. Damn. I was really hoping Edna would get a fucking good hit on that.
I like to imagine one by one we kind of just drop out, and then eventually he's rolling for all of our characters and just playing D&D by himself. He's like, "Welcome back to the stream. I've got 4 character sheets. Let's go."
Let's fucking do it. I probably would, because no, I could never. That'd get more tiring than it's worth. So yes, it is going to end up moving forward. It's actually going to go for Lucia. And it is going to get up to Lucia, and it is going to make an attack on you. Does a natural 20 hit Lucia? I'm sorry. Because it is a crit, actually does do a little more damage, other than the normal thing. Wow, this stat block is weird. Man, I almost feel bad now. Low rolls. How much health you got, Lucia?
What?
How much health you got right now?
22?
No.
Mm-hmm. You better fucking make this save. It did 20 damage.
Oh my god.
I need you to make a con save.
$15.
15? You met the DC. You're fine. And you barely, it stabs, and Lucia, it pierces your fucking chest. It goes through your back and out the front. And as it rips through, it tries to pump the poison in. The only thing that keeps you alive is the fact that it did puncture a hole through your chest as the poison spills out.
That's
You
a
would have
really
been down.
fucking strong ass thing going through fucking metal.
It's not all metal. Well, chest, more like
That is
stomach area. It's
all
not all
metal.
Okay. Fuck you. It can go through armor. So it's
I'm not
good
saying
enough.
that it's impossible. I am just saying that is impressive. Damn
it is
you.
impressive. I know. Nah, yeah, I know. But so that is that. That is going to be its turn. However, now it is in cluster, surrounded on all sides. So it is up to Vakhtyn and Lucia again. Actually, if I may, real quick, one thing that is actually going to happen here. at the end of its turn. It is not technically its turn, but it is the end of its turn before the new initiative. There's going to be a bit of rumbling in the ground. Dum, dum, dum. And from your right, and as the dum, dum get faster, you see a large hulking figure rushing your direction. Its head split, and one of those things perched on the top of its head. This is a giant. It appears from the statues like a stone giant. Very lithe, very thin. Shorter than most giants, but still. And it will go after the Thelicath.
Damn, we're about to die again. Look at that.
No. Maybe. You could. I don't know. We're about to find out. Don't die. Simply do not. You are actually, from how you ran before this thing caught up, and now, you are fairly close to the end of the steps. And these steps are more people-sized, less giant-sized. So that's good. Bogdan and Lucia, it's up to you.
So where's the Deathlock located at the moment?
What, the Thelicath? The thing that's just attacked Lucia?
Yeah, sorry, that one.
That's okay. That is probably, honestly, within 5 feet of you. It basically just swooped down, attacked Lucian's still there.
Interesting. Because every gut instinct is telling me to cast Thunderwave.
I mean, can Thunderwave, can you
Oh,
choose
no.
who it affects?
See, that's what I want to know.
Because it'll specify. Let's see, because I know you can do that with Destructive Wave. But each creature, yeah, no, it's not of your choice. It's each creature. So if you do just Thunderwave, you will drop Lucia, maybe drop this thing, and then
Okay. That sounds like a fair. Not really. I'm not going to do that.
you don't have to share
What-
initiative
what?
count anymore.
I've played chess.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing.
Magic missile.
Could do Magic Missile. You just have to. Well, if you use Jim's Magic Missile, you'd have to back up a tab.
We will do Jim. Oh, wait, yeah, we'll do Tim's Magic Missile.
Okay, because you do have to roll on it. If you stay where you are, it's disadvantage unless you are to back up at least 5 feet, because you're within 5 feet of it. So you would have to back up. It would get an attack of opportunity.
Wait, wait. It's surrounded, right?
It is true. Flanking. You would roll normally.
Okay, then I'm going to just do a normal smack attack.
Okay. Oh,
All of my might.
If you're just
I
doing
got a
like
19.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got a 19 plus 6.
That'll hit.
Okay, cool. So now we're going to do one of these damages. Come on, give me an 8. Okay, I'll take a 6. And then plus 7, 8, 9. That's 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay.
Just with staff attack.
Okay. It is still up, but it is barely up. It is hurting. And yeah, is there anything else you can do?
I think that is it. That's
okay.
it.
Well then, Lucia, you kind of get stabbed through the chest. You're like, no. And yeah, you're alive, barely. What are you doing?
This motherfucker that decided to do this. Lucia's kind of angry now.
Mm-hmm.
That absolutely could have gone terribly.
Yes.
He doesn't know how the core works here, but it's still existent.
It is.
So this thing is going to get a lovely shocking grasp.
Do.
It is not.
Not what?
That would it's not made of. It doesn't have armor made of metal.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that is
Hey, Lucia.
25. to
The
hit.
armor made of metal thing.
Mhm.
What does that do?
You have advantage on the attack if you have advantage on attack roll if the target is wearing armor made of metal.
Go ahead and do it. Mhm.
It's still the same roll because I rolled a 19 on the die, so 25.
Wonderful. Go ahead and do the thing.
I'm scared now.
Don't worry about it.
I fucked up, didn't I?
No, you didn't. Don't worry about it. There's things, lore things, you'll learn over time.
The scariest thing I've ever heard a DM say is, "Oh, there's things."
So,
Yeah.
6 damage, lightning damage, and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Sorry, how much damage?
6.
I said it was looking bad, didn't I? And so it takes this shocking. It's touch, right? Shocking grasp. I'm guessing touch.
You touch, yeah.
Yeah, you literally just reach out. It's like one of those hand buzzers where it shocks you. You just grab it, and its whole body seizes up, and you suddenly hear a lot of ticking and whining and clockwork that you didn't hear a moment ago, and it drops. Out on the outside, it looks organic, but something about it internally doesn't seem to be. Odd little detail, but something to maybe keep in mind. And it drops. But it feels flesh. It's a very odd thing, but it drops. And continue running. Do you all begin to sprint, or do you continue going at your more normal pace?
I'm sprinting.
Sprinting. Okay, get the fuck out of here. And so you begin to go. The giant, I will say, is going to make one, as you begin to go, make one attack using a rock as it just grabs a hunk of building lying on the ground, chucks it in your direction. I'm going to say probably aiming.
Can I deflect missiles?
No. I'm going to say a boulder. No. It is going to be, because it's one target, I'm going to say this is going to be Alaya, because you are holding the thing. You're holding the really important thing. It's going to be a 25. Sorry, 24. That is going to be, it's rock, so it's plus what? Plus that, okay. Math. Low damage, I'll tell you that. Kind of sad about that,
If
actually.
it's anything above 18, she's dead.
Actually, because it's plus 6. I don't know what it is with almost killing you, but not quite. I swear to God, I'm not making this shit up. You're at 1 HP. That was 17. However,
It's
I do need you to make me a strength save. DC 17.
5.
You are alive, but you are knocked prone. As all of you are watching this shit happen, it just picks up the chunk of earth, throws the piece of building. It clonks Alaya over the side of the head. Literally just whoosh, Alaya goes with the piece of building that rolls off to the side, and Alaya's fallen prone right there. And alive, still breathing, like on the ground, but like still breathing. Not good, not good at all. What do you guys do?
Where's the ball?
The piece of rocket through?
No, the orb.
Oh, the orb. I'm gonna say still
Alaya has
on
it.
Alaya. Yeah, it
Okay.
didn't fall out.
I thought I was gonna have to make a decision, and I was gonna pick the orb. Sorry. Anyway.
No, it's still on Alaya. It
Yeah,
made it down a building. It's all right.
Can Alaya chug a health potion and then use her bonus action to continue to dash.
You can. You can. You can. Honestly, we're kind of in a half initiative state right now, so it's not really anyone going in order. You can, if you'd like, just chug a health potion, can get up, start running.
Goliath looking at right now.
Which one's it looking at? The giant?
Yeah.
3, 4, 2.
Right now, it's still kind of looking at Alaya. I mean, Alaya has this orb, the thing that everyone's here for. That is kind of the point of fixation right now. Even to this
Okay,
thing.
I'm gonna see if I can't do something. So I'm gonna make a dead sprint for kind of a little bit to the right, like almost looping around it, but not completely. Where I'm going a little bit away from the entrance, which is where we're trying to go. And I'm gonna go ahead and use Thunder Wave. So it'll make a very loud noise.
Okay, or you're not trying to get it in the Thunderwave, just the noise mainly.
Just the noise. I just want to draw some attention.
Okay, then I won't even make any rolls here. I'll just say boom, Thunderwave. Turns its head immediately toward you.
Okay, so I don't even have to roll. Sweet.
Yeah, because you're not damaging anything. So there's really nothing to roll. If it's just for the noise. So I mean, yeah, you do the Thunderwave and it just looks right in your direction. It's like and just starts to kind of come in your direction with the club. And the rest of you would see this. And here.
This has turned into a game of keep away. Okay.
Kinda has, yeah. You're playing keep away with an orb. So,
Oh, boy.
anyone have any? Are the rest of you just continuing running as Vakhtyn distracts this thing? What's the plan here?
The only thing I want to say is, Alaya, go!
There you go.
That sounded so anime.
She goes.
You going? Are you going your full like sprint and everything, Elia?
With a full sprint, that will be since she's not in a four-legged form anymore. That'll be 650 feet.
Still fucking nuts. And so you sprint and you go. I'm gonna say you get up halfway up the stairs with that. You could get to the top with if you continue. Do you just keep going all the way to the top? Continue all the way up. The rest of you, are you just following Lucia? Isaac mainly.
So I would like to dash first just to get
Mhm.
some more space.
Yep.
But I want to hit the giant just to
Okay.
keep some of the pressure off Vakhtyn.
Yeah. Roll to hit. That's perfect.
That is a 18 on the dice.
Mm-hmm. $18 on the dice for a total. Are you sharpshootering this?
Yes, but regular.
Regular.
So 22 to hit.
That will hit. Yes, if you're doing it regular, that will hit. And so
then that is 19.
19 damage. Okay, and so you pull it back, let it go, and it slams into it, and it just turns its head in your direction. One loud noise. Now this guy's hurting him. It doesn't really know who to smack, but it's gonna smack one of you. And I think, honestly, Elias running. You're doing that. It's gonna try to make an attack at you. Real quick though, Lucia, what are you doing? Are you running as well?
He's just running.
Okay, it is going to make an attack. It is actually, honestly, Vakhtyn is closer. It is going to attempt to make 2 great club attacks using its multi-attack.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's going to be a 26 and a 21.
They both hit.
Yeah. Oh boy, Vakhtyn, what's your health looking like, buddy?
Well, it was 22.
Yeah. Okay, you're lucky here, though. Oh, no, that's one attack. Never mind. Okay, at least it's not a rock. Rock's much worse. Let me get more d8s. Hold on. I didn't have enough out. Oh, you're so fucking lucky, let me tell you. I don't know how much health you
What
have right
happened?
now. I don't know how much health you have right now, but that was like almost minimum damage. This could still put you down, but that was almost minimum. Holy shit. Um, okay. One. It's gonna be 10.
Oh, that didn't even take half my health away.
Yeah, yeah. 10. Um, kind of upset about that. I was hoping to do more than that.
I'm not sad about it.
It was like 4 ones. I was like, there are 6 die here. I was so upset about that. Okay, it's fine. So yeah, I mean, he just brings 2 heavy great club slams. One of them just barely grazing you and slamming into the ground, but mainly, and almost tripping you up a bit. And then the other one, it does clock you a bit, but you're able to dodge most of it. That is going to be its turn. Now, I'm going to say Alaya. As this is going on, you are able to make it to the top. On this orb, this was originally, when you had seen it above, I believe I said the cloud giant. However, as you are here and you look down at this writing, like, please, please be readable. You're able to read this now. It is in common, now that it is by the statue. And on it, let me get the document up here. Okay. How to put this? My domain is often hotter than fire. Yet, I'm trying to think how to word this because I worded this weird here. No, let me start this here again. So, I can create something hotter than fire. Yet what I make can also be colder than ice. I'm above the rest. What am I?
Either the sky, cloud, or the sun.
Think of the different giants here. There is again storm, fire, cloud, which it could be cloud, even though, it could have been above cloud and be cloud. That is a possibility. But there was cloud, stone, frost, fire, hill, and storm.
Oh, so it's all right. So it could be one of the giants.
You put it next to one of the
It's
statues.
all right. I thought it was specifically for the cloud giant.
Nope. It was next to it when it originally left. But it is
Okay.
one of those giants. Could be cloud, but above the rest.
Could you repeat the riddle, please?
Yes. Can create something hotter than fire, but colder than ice. And I am above the rest. What am I? Should I say, to make it less confusing, which am I?
There's mountains, lava, but then mountain peaks could also have snow on them, and mountains are tall as fuck.
I will say,
So
if
a
anyone
hill
else
giant?
has any ideas, if anyone else does have any ideas, you can chime in even though you were not there. Group thing.
Oh, cool.
I personally think it'd be Storm.
Yeah, I'm thinking Storm too.
Storm. Would you like to put it next to the storm statue alive? As the birds chirp in your ears, storm, storm. Or would you like to go with your, I believe you said a hill or originally, you can do that as well.
What happens if I get it wrong, or is it a fuck around and find out moment?
Something does she did say, be careful about getting it wrong. There are consequences to getting it wrong.
Ah, how many
See,
health potions do I have left?
well, you used one,
I have 4 left.
one normal, so you have 4. Just don't fuck it up. I'm kidding.
Could you repeat the riddle one last time
Yes.
before I make my mind up?
I can create something hotter than fire, colder than ice. I am above the rest. What am I?
I personally think it's stone. I think it's the mountain, the idea of the mountain and whatever else. I don't know though.
This is a good
Oh,
idea.
with the storm. No, oh yeah, I see what Lucia's saying with the lightning and the snow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Lock in your final
I'm
answer.
thinking either storm or I'll say storm.
Storm.
Yeah.
Do you put it next to, because there is a small pedestal next to this that would fit it. Do you put it in storm?
Yes.
As
How
you
much
put it in
damage?
place, the words begin to glow. The eyes in the statue begin to glow as its color returns. And it starts to crackle with lightning that licks the tip of your fingers. And there is a in the sky, a large bell. You guessed correctly.
Emphasis
Thank
on
you,
gas.
guys.
Damn.
Thank you for not letting me be stupid. I've just knocked the laptop.
So, you're fine. Now, we're going to go to the rest. Lucia, it will take you quite a bit longer to get up to the top. However, I'm guessing you're continuing. Okay.
Yep.
Elia, is there anything you would like to do, or are you just going to kind of chill up there?
Is she able to leave that pedestal and statue now that she's got it right?
Yes. Again, you are associated with this group. There's something associating you with this group, and so you have guessed it. You guys have served your spot. You have your spot. Just don't die before it's over.
Okay. Cool. So since she's got the health potions, she's gonna make her way back over to the giant.
Okay. Are you
And
going to be
as
sprinting
she
down?
passes Lucia, yeah. But when she gets there, she's gonna keep a fair distance from the giant.
Okay.
However far she was when it hit her with the boulder,
Mm,
she's gonna make sure she's further away than that.
good to know.
And yeah, when she runs down the stairs and passes Lucia, she'll be like, I'm off to go help them guys. You can chill up there if you want. I know you look really badly injured.
Also,
And then
Connor, are
she
you...
tosses Lucia a health potion.
Oh, good. Connor, are you good? What happened? I heard a loud, like, clang. Goodbye.
Yeah. I had a bowl sitting over there,
Yeah?
and it randomly fell, even though it was nowhere near the side of my fridge.
Probably a ghost.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
I
thought
wish
you
I
were-
was kidding, but I'm legitimately freaked out, and Floof is too.
I mean,
The fuck?
could be. Could be.
It's a dancing bowl.
But what were we
You
saying?
got a
I'm
health
sorry,
potion.
I got distracted.
Yeah.
Elia asked you. Yeah.
He will
Elia,
happily take it.
yeah, Elia ran past you. As you're coming up the stairs, she went back down the stairs, threw your health potion, and was like, I'm going to go help with the others. You can chill up there if you want. I can see you pretty bad.
You're not much better yourself. Are you sure that's a smart thing to do?
It's fine. I'm old. If I die, I don't get that long anyway.
Just kind of gives her a look. Try not to.
She's got the mentality of an Irish grandma. She thinks she's immortal.
I can teach her different. It's okay. Okay. And so you make your way back down. I'll say you're basically at the base, at the end of your turn. Because you do have to kind of stop to give Lucia the thing. So, there you go. So, I'm going to say Edna also is going to, against the giant, join the fight, and is going to rush up to it and whack. Fuck it, she'll rage too for a little extra damage. Fine. That actually will hit. That'll be 22. Very good roll. It was a 22. Might have been a 21. Yeah, 21 actually. So that is going to be not bad. It's only 7 damage. So just kind of. Oh nope, rage damage. It's +2. I haven't played a fucking barbarian in ages, and I barely played it then. Yeah, so that's going to be 9 actually. And then is going to bring it down, wham, and just slam into this thing. Kind of takes notice. Tons of people attacking it from all sides. And yeah, so that's its turn. Or that's Edna's turn. So if you'd like, Vakten and Isaac, you may roll attacks on it if you'd like to continue attacking it.
So I know what I'm going to do.
Okay, what are you going to do?
To attempt to do a sapping sting, so it goes prone, and then I can leave without causing a reaction, because I don't think I can survive that.
Smart.
Come on, come on. Yes, a 19 plus 6.
19 plus 6. Yeah, that'll hit.
It's only going to do 1d4 damage, but I will still count it.
Okay.
Give me 1 sec. 1 damage again.
Okay, 1 damage. And does it have to make a save?
No, it just takes the 1 damage.
Actually, it's sapping sting, right?
Oh, I don't roll. You roll.
Yep. Target must succeed a con saving throw or take that damage and fall prone. So it may not take the damage.
Right.
Depends on the save. Let's see.
Oh boy.
It's con save. They have good con. Yeah. It's gonna be a 22.
Yeah, that's way past it.
Yeah, Giants got good con, and so you it's not 30 feet. It's not touch. It's 30 feet. So you let out this like greenish energy, and as it touches it and tries to like stab into it, it kind of shakes it off and kind of just looks at you as like just not very happy about that. Isaac or Vakten, real quick, is there anything else you can do that you would like to do?
I'm gonna make it dead sprint away from this. I'm gonna just try to run. I'm gonna take the hit.
Okay.
I'm feeling good about this one.
It's a 19.
That hits.
Yeah, that's a 19. But it is only 1 attack. It cannot make it second. So that's good. Don't kill him. Please. I just maim him. Don't kill him, just maim.
Right.
Please. 7.
Ooh.
I don't know how much health you got.
I got 5.
Got 5 left?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Just
whoosh.
whoosh. And you like hear it before you feel it and just wham, and it almost cracks your back a bit. Okay. Go into your movement. That'd be 30 feet. Okay. Isaac, is there anything you'd like to do as you see Vakten get hit?
Elia is down, right?
Down, but not to you yet.
Okay.
And so Elia
Yeah,
would be
I'm just
next.
gonna hit the giant again.
Hit the giant. Do it. Are you doubling down or anything?
Doubling down.
Do it. Okay. Fucking hit this bitch.
Sweet Jesus.
I heard a song.
Yep.
Just realized what that means. Okay, so what is the total though? Because you are doubling down on this.
So
Probably still hits, but I want to make sure.
say 19.
19 total.
Yes.
That will hit. Yeah, no, that'll hit. So then, yeah, roll damage.
That's 10 plus 20, 30 doubled.
Yeah, it's the full damage doubled, whatever that might be.
So 60 damage.
Okay. Did you roll max on that?
Actually, is it still considered a crit if it's a 19 to hit, or if
Uh,
it's just a
I'm
20 on the dice?
I'm gonna say if it's a 20 on the dice at all, I'm going to count it as a crit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. So you pull back and it hits and it sinks into its chest. Some of the ones have kind of like gone in but then stopped. Like this one you see almost go clean through its chest, its exposed chest. And as it hits, it kind of lets out and there's like blood that comes out its mouth. It's still alive, but barely. It's hanging on as close as the rest of the party basically, except like you. Almost everyone. It's about at that level in terms of its HP. Anything else you can do that you would like to?
Um, movement speed. Actually, what's on the sides of me? And how far away am I from this guy?
From this guy, he's probably honestly it's a probably about 60 feet, honestly.
Okay.
And there's really nothing on the sides of you. I mean, you can still see the scuffle going on, although it's calming down in the center as most of those people have died or run away. Really nothing around you other than this guy, about 60 feet, and then the staircase, honestly, probably 60 feet that way, the opposite direction.
All right. So explain height to me, because I'm thinking of like giants as in like the trolls from Harry Potter sized.
Um, they're a little bigger. Stone giant, actually. Let me check their size. Stone. Nope. Hold on. Because I actually did find a height chart for them. What they gave sizes. So let's see. Stone giants, one of the smaller of them, is 18 feet tall. They're about three
Okay.
times your height.
Okay. So if I like ran up to the giant and just like stood under him, there should be no problem with that.
You would be occupying the same space as him. You could do that, yeah.
Okay.
I'd allow it.
Okay. So I'm gonna dash to get over to him and then do that.
Okay, you will occupy the same space, be directly under him. He will see you coming, just kind of running up to him. So he's kind of, as you get under him, he's just like, what the fuck? In giant. So there you go.
Say, do I? No, never mind. I don't know Giant. I thought I knew Giant. Sorry.
That would be very funny. Like
I
you
was gonna say, I
hear
was like,
him
why
say
do I know
really,
Giant? It's because I don't.
yeah. You'd know, hear like one thing he say, it'd be, what the fuck?
He says that in common. Everything else is Giant.
Everything else in giant, yeah. That is a universe. In fact, what the fuck came from giant? No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So there's that. He sees you doing. I believe that would be your turn though. Because you'd have to dash with bonus. Yeah. So then next up would be Alaya, I believe. Because I'm just kind of going off old initiative, roughly. Alaya.
How far away is she from these guys?
60 from where Isaac was. So I'm gonna say because it was kind of an L, so it's about 100 feet to the giant.
Oh, okay. So she
Sound good?
can just use her movement without dashing.
Yeah.
So she's gonna do that. Get right up to the giant and swear in Elvish. She's gonna say "Sin udronjuket" and then start smacking.
Okay. All right.
He's a 21 and 9 damage.
Okay, that will hit, and so you hit whack, and it takes the damage. It kind of buckles its knee a bit, and let's see.
That will be none of
Ooh.
them hit, I assume.
So for that natural one, I need you to roll me a flat d20.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh no.
I need better.
And so you bring your quarterstaff whack into its knee, and it starts to buckle and come down. And as you go to punch for the second, you put your body weight exactly as you're trained. Put your body weight behind the punch. Brings you right toward its knee. Isaac, you're not going to get hit by it coming down like this, but it does hit Elia. And that is going to be, well, roll to hit for Elia. Think it will. That's going to be an unnatural 20. Now, this is more of an unarmed, kind of just improvised attack, but it is large, huge even. That is going to be 6 points of damage. Yeah.
Oh.
And so it comes down, boom, its knee hitting you, and almost its hand. It's not even necessarily trying to hit you initially. It's more so it's just coming down, sees you, goes, boom, and just like kind of brings its hand down about where you are, and it just happens to hit you. I keep almost killing you, I swear. It's not on purpose. This is the second time this session.
Meanwhile, I'm still at full health. What are y'all doing?
It's because you're all the way fucking
Elia-
back there.
Elia has a good habit of getting in there and nearly dying.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
then
she's
there's
already
that.
dead, and she's nearly died twice.
I know. So that's gonna be your turn unless there's anything you can do. I believe you've used all your action economy.
Yeah, that was my action and bonus action.
And then
Do
your
I have
movement.
any?
I mean, you have some movement left, but it would be an opportunity attack if you do.
No, I don't believe I can
That's incorrect.
do anything.
There would be no opportunity attack. You want to know why? Because it used its reaction already to attack Bogdan. So it has no reaction left until its turn.
So in
you
that
can't.
case,
The
she's
giant
gonna.
used genjutsu on him. I think that's what just happened.
Yeah. Hey, you just got healed.
None of that happened.
Yeah.
In fact, does she go away or does she stay in melee?
It's up to you.
She's got 30 feet of movement left. She's gonna stay there. Fuck it. Yeah.
Okay. So then it'd be over to Edna. Edna's going to make an attack. That is a 19 on the die. That will definitely hit. It's going to be 6 damage. Damn, it's still up. Motherfucker, Jacob. Come on, bro. 9. It's a 9. No, okay. What's up to the fucking giant? Try not to kill you. I promise. However, it's gonna stand. It's gonna look down below it at Isaac. Hey, buddy. It is going to attempt to hit you. It is going to kind of step back just a little bit, not moving out of melee with anyone staying within that 5 feet, but it is going to make an attack. Both attacks, sorry. It's gonna be 24.
Uh-huh.
And the next one's only gonna be a 19.
Yeah.
Both hit. Okay, I don't remember your AC. Gotcha.
If it looks in general, this is what the giant should have done.
Wait, what was that? You cut out for me.
Hold on, I don't think it saved it. Let me open this up real quick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on, it's being rude. Okay, this is what the giant should have done.
Oh, squat.
It just squats down.
Yeah, I thought about it having it either do that or just like stomp, but I'm like, no, it's got Big's club. Okay, let's see. Both did hit, so it's gonna hurt. Is that a 6 or an 8? It's a 6. doing math. Sorry.
4 damage.
You wish. That is going to be 21.
Okay.
Between the two it hits. The one hit, it comes down as it's backing up and wham, almost under hits and slams you in the back. The other one, it kind of almost brings down the momentum right on top of your arm. And it's the one you shoot with too, asshole. And it does come down in its heart. So that is going to be its turn. Because it's not going to move anymore. It's not going to risk that. It's dumb, but it's survival's more important. So it is going to end its turn there. It's over to Vokton and Lucia's. Well, let me ask, because Lucia, you're technically out of combat. Are you coming down at all? Because if so, we'll have you moving your way down. No. So then it's over to Vokton.
Okay. I'm going to be using Tim's magic missile.
Okay. Forget, because you did move away, so you're out of its melee, so that's good. You can do that regular, and actually, it's within 5 feet of allies. Those will be with advantage. Because I believe for gyms you do have to roll those.
Yes. This time I roll.
Yeah. Because regular magic missile you don't, but this one you do.
Oh, it's Jim's. Why do I write Tim's like on everything? Everyone kept saying Jim, and I'm like, I'm not going to correct them. It's a good thing I didn't because I was wrong. Anyway, okay. So each dart can target a creature. Make your range spell for each missile. First one is a 15.
That'll miss.
Okay. Next one is a. Ooh, that is like a 22.
That'll hit.
This last one is a 23.
That'll hit as well.
Okay. The missile does 2d4 force damage. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of those. So it's going to do a total of. Oh, beautiful. My first roll is a 4.
Ooh.
And I'm going to make this all radiant, by the way.
Okay, can do.
3. A 2. If I get a 1, that's going to be amazing. Oh, another 4. I'll take that even better. 13 damage. 13 radiant damage.
13 radiant. And so you beam this fucking thing. 1 goes wide, but 2 do manage to slam into it. Now, on this creature in particular, the radiant doesn't seem to do as much as the others. However, still does not like the hit. In fact, dislikes it so much that when the first one hits, it stumbles back, falls to one knee. The second one hits. Anywhere in particular you'd like it to hit?
I'm going to pierce right through the eye.
Right through the eye. And it slams right through the eye. It kind of just looks at you, turning its head toward you. And it's like that scene from Breaking Bad where Gus walks out the room and half his face is blown off. It hits and just turns to you and falls forward. Dead. You guys did a lot of fucking damage to it. It was just hanging on by a thread. By a literal thread. You killed the giant. And so it is dead, and the thing on top of its head kind of and flies off. So you've killed it. Good job. Congrats. Where do you go now?
I'd like to check for loot.
You would like to check for loot? Make an investigation check, please.
Wahoo.
Checking the stone giant, correct? The not like anything else. Okay.
You said investigation?
Investigation, yep.
21.
21. With the 21, you find its furs that it's wearing, very okay furs. They're old, very old. You really don't find anything. You find a couple skulls. Nothing of value, honestly. On this
How
corpse.
big are the skulls?
How big are they? They almost look like deer skulls. So they're about that big. Deer or some kind of like elk or something.
Okay. I'm gonna take one.
I like to out of anger, I want to walk up, like hobble up to the giant and just deliver one blow, just smack it in the head with my staff, just pissed off.
Fuck it, roll a hit. Roll a hit.
Roll
for
the
me.
hit. Let's do this. If I
Yeah.
miss this giant,
Probably not.
14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. And so you just bring it down. Roll damage for me. See how much you mutilate its head.
All right. How much can I mutilate? Roll to mutilate.
Roll to mutilate.
That's a 7 plus 7, 8, 9. 7 out of 8. So 7, 8,
Okay.
9, 10, 11.
Okay, and you just bring it down, whack, and it's a head. It's a heavy skull. It's a giant. It's got a thick skull anyway, but stone giant too. So it hits, and it does dent in the skull a bit as it hits the ground. So yeah, you mutilated the skull. Good job. And so yeah, there's that. Are you guys just gonna head back up now? What's the plan from here? Because you have gotten your orb. Now it is just a job of surviving until the end. You can go up to do so. What do you want to do?
I'm leaving. I'm getting up. I'm getting up there.
Getting up there. Okay. Seems like everyone's going up. All right, and so you run up, and Goosh is up there waiting as well. Jacob follows, Edna follows as well, and everyone gets up there. Beaten, bruised, but okay. There is one other group up there, and they weapons drawn, covered in blood. Some their own, some not, and they just look at you. And then one of their group, as they're all kind of weapons drawn toward you, puts the orb in the thing, solves the riddle. The bell chimes. They got it correct. You're now looking at one of the people you'll have to face in one of the next challenges. And this is a slightly larger group. You are a group of 6. They are a group of 8. So currently 14 people are making it through. So, keep that in mind. I think with that, we're going to kind of wrap up just due to time, mostly. It is hitting midnight. So, time passes, other groups come up, and all of them equally scared. These are not all adventurers. These are not all soldiers. There's people you can see, just townsfolk with patchwork armor that just happened to escape the conflict enough to find the item and get back up here. Looks like one of them just a group of farmers with like maybe a couple mercenaries. And they all bring their individual orbs, and you do see what happens when you get one incorrect. As one of those farmers brings it forward and sets it down on the pedestal, and as their hands are touching it, this is the one they put in front of the fire giant. Well, that obviously didn't go to the fire giant. As their hands start to burn to ash, and it licks up their arms and onto their shoulders, and their body starts to crumble, and they scream the screams louder than anything you've ever heard, and it just burns through their body until it is nothing but a pile of ash. And then they're dead. And the rest of their group kind of just looking around. And one of them carefully grabs it, reads it, puts it in the cloud. Giant one. And that was correct. And so, one by one, groups come up. And by the end, there are 42. 42 people that make it through. And the rest, as you look down at the people, some still fighting, some running around, fighting giants and the insect creatures. Their bodies begin to turn into light and dust and smoke as they fall and ascend into the sky. This sky that turns black, almost looking more like a night sky, although there is still the light of day, as their bodies become one with the void. They put their life on the line, and they lost. And that is where we will end tonight's session. And tomorrow we'll pick up with challenge number 2. Tomorrow. Next session, you know what I mean. If you want it to be tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. I couldn't do tomorrow. But next session we will pick up, and it will be challenge number 2. This was more intellect-based. That will be more a combat challenge. You can all get a short rest, but there's no time for a long rest. Not yet.
Oh boy.
Short rest for now, and then if you guys decide and are able to convince everyone to take a long rest. May take some convincing of the other groups. But convince them to wait for a long rest, then you can. But for now, it will be short rest. Keep that in mind. That is going to be tonight. Thank you for everyone who stopped by for the stream. And again, this will be 2 weeks from now. So yeah, talk to you later.